We live. Welcome back, all you beautiful people, to that We Got Action podcast episode 50.
50
Yeah.
bomb.
That's kind of
50
crazy,
bomb.
bro. That's kind of crazy.
Yep.
50 of them things, all right? And we got NBA loaded agenda again. It's kind of right in the thick of the NBA playoffs. And there's a lot of stuff going on, man. There's a lot of stuff going on. The lottery
Sorry,
just
all of our
finished up,
episodes
too.
are explicit, man. You could say it.
Beautiful.
You don't want to
I
swear.
tried it. I've tried, but it doesn't work all the
want
time.
to keep the swearing off the first couple
But
seconds, so
so we've got
demonetize.
We've got the lottery just finished up, and then we're going to
Yep.
touch on a lot of different stuff going on. You know, Ja Morant, or as I called him, Ja Moron.
Ooh.
We've got a bunch of coaching firings. We've got the Sixers lost, Suns lost. Again, the lottery
State
there. Golden State lost. We kind of touched on Golden State a little bit last week,
Yeah,
which was I think we kind of saw that on the forefront.
yeah.
Yeah.
Talk about who potential drafts, maybe some expansion teams, and then a fun would you rather at the end.
It's a start bench cut, sir.
No, would you rather, Danny?
Oh, I had a really good one.
Oh, you had a
Why
good
let's
start
ask
bench
quick-
cut, dude. Let's do
Yeah.
them both. I've got a good would
let's
you
do
rather.
both. Oh, okay. I didn't know you made one. I thought
Hey,
you were
both.
just throwing it up there.
I told you I was
Okay.
gonna make one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we'll do
Let's
both
do
then.
it. We got both
Let's do
then.
both.
So we'll have a would
do
you
both.
rather and a start bench cut.
Let's do
And
it.
then we'll just talk about quickly just some MLB just to kind of change the pace a little bit between the last few weeks. We'll talk about some early season MVPs and Cy Youngs for both American League and National League. Some of them seem a bit fairly straightforward, but others are definitely not decided yet. But yeah, let's get into it. I guess the biggest topic up for debate, or lack thereof debate, but just the biggest news headline is Ja Morant again.
It's a party inside my city, yeah. Woo! Yeah.
That's
It's
awful.
going to be a
bro.
party in itself.
It's so bad.
This rate.
Yeah, so I mean, we talked about it 2 months ago, how dumb it was and how he ain't about that. And then here he is again, doing the same thing. I don't even have a reaction because I'm just like so surprised that it happened again.
Yeah.
Even now we're what, 2 to 3 days removed. It was Saturday morning. Sunday morning it came out.
Yeah.
Sunday morning it came out. It might have been on Saturday and then things surfaced into Sunday, but yeah, I still don't really have much of a reaction because I'm just like, I don't quite get how you can be that dumb. And it's funny because after all like the interviews you see from clips from everybody throughout their talk shows throughout the day, they talk about like how intelligent he actually is, which I believe it. I mean, you hear him in interviews and he is a very smart kid, but it's just, it doesn't make any sense. I don't get it.
This one, I almost feel worse for him.
Dude,
Yeah.
it's almost
He wasn't,
cringy,
he
bro.
wasn't filming this time. So, and you can tell like his homie dropped the phone as
Yeah,
soon as
that
camera
was
flashed
yeah.
on.
As soon as he pulled it up, he dropped the phone on. Yeah.
Yeah. So you
That
could
was the
tell
key.
like they knew that he messed up right away. Like he was gonna go show off. Ja
But
had
here's
the
the
gun
thing:
out.
you don't,
Yeah.
you really think Ja didn't know he was on IG
Yeah,
Live?
exactly.
Ja
Oh, he
wanted
knew,
to do
bro.
that.
He knew.
His friend was
He
just
knew.
like, "Dude, what are you doing?" I guarantee you, he put it down. I was like, "Bro, what are you doing?"
Well, now they're talking about apparently Ja's borderline alcoholic too. I don't know if y'all seen any of that.
I haven't
oh,
read
yeah,
any
this
of
is-
that
this is how-
along
this is
those
how
lines.
Hey,
But
Oh, yeah.
That's
They
how
were-
rumors.
Oh yeah, it was so funny. It was literally I was reading. It was a what's his name? It was an NBA reporter for I believe the Athletic.
It sounds right.
And he was talking about that one video of Ja chugging the tequila. I don't know if y'all
Yes.
seen it. It was surfacing around. It was popping off around the time that the first gun thing happened.
okay.
Basically, he just has a bottle of tequila and he just takes a pull from it. A good probably like 3, 4, 5 seconds of just straight tequila. So the guy was saying that like, look, I can't judge because I'm not around him all the time, but I've drank tequila. For you to drink that much, you gotta have, you gotta be a bit of you gotta be experienced in that realm.
Yeah,
Right,
And so now things are going
This-
on that I guess it's been a problem with him since Murray State that people knew he doesn't make the best decisions around alcohol. So now it's just the slander avalanche is coming down on him hard.
Hey, big shout out to Kyrie Irving. All right, that's what I want to say.
it's tough, bro. I mean,
Listen, Kyrie Irving wasn't hurting nobody. He
yeah,
wasn't
but
endangering people's lives.
Ja Morant at this point though, you just got to be smarter, bro.
Bro,
But I understand. I mean, at this point, I don't think nothing's. I think he deserves to get suspended for half the year. No,
bro, he's
I think
good.
it'll probably be.
Well-
Yeah, that's what everybody's saying. It's like I would say like 16,
Well-
20 games because it's conduct detrimental to the league. But he's not breaking any laws. So,
Well,
Yeah, but you're breaking NBA laws.
you broke an NBA
but
law,
which is conduct
breaking
detrimental.
team-
Yeah.
But you also break a team policy for a guy who just came out and said he's trying to get rid of that off that team.
Yeah.
Then on top of that, I think he does. Yeah, I'm on that verge of like 20 games to half the season because this guy really came out and was like, "I'm gonna make better decisions," and then turned around and made a worse decision.
That boy, he's
like,
about to be the next Josh Gordon.
yeah, that's rough to me, and it's just too much talent. Like I think I forgot who said it has the best quote to me. I think he has to change the people around him. Like if they're not gonna change,
Oh, that was
around.
D'Lo. That was D'Lo.
yeah, like if they're not gonna change around you, you need to change the people around you
Mhm.
in a sense. Because just like that video, I think your homie shouldn't even put the camera on you if he knew you had a gun on.
That's what I'm saying.
That's how I feel about it.
I mean,
If you already knew
Shouldn't
you
even gone on IG Live to be
Like,
honest
bro,
with you.
common
Regardless,
Be
sense
honest with you.
apparently is not that common.
Yeah.
it's not,
Holy
bro.
crap.
It's really hard to find the common sense. But I mean, I think all those interviews and saying, especially the exit interviews with him saying, "Oh, we got to get better discipline. I myself got to be a better leader for this team, especially off the court. We had a lot of drama, this and that." But basically, you were just speaking out of the wrong hole at that point, my boy. Like at that point, you should have just be who you believe that you want to be, but don't try and put on this front for everybody because one slip up, everybody's gonna be on you for it.
Yeah.
But it's tough. I hope he doesn't get suspended for a whole year. Again,
Yeah, that's
he
rough.
didn't break any laws, especially with him living in Tennessee.
Yeah. they're
So
very strict
that's the
about it.
only
It's
thing.
just pattern. Yeah, it's just pattern of behavior right now. I just think it's just not going in his favor. Then he beat up a 17-year-old kid.
Yeah, there's a lot of
Yeah,
things
so-
going
yeah,
against
the
him.
Yeah,
reports
There's a
there's
on
lot
that
of
one
stuff
are-
that's going.
And
Yeah, it's a
Flash
lot
the
going
gun at
into
him
this.
too.
Yeah, the reports
Yeah.
on that one are murky. There's, I guess they're countersuing or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
something like that.
Apparently the
Yeah,
kid-
Yeah,
It's
but
the
if
one that
something's
started
in the
everything,
works,
yeah.
obviously something happened.
Something definitely happened. Yeah.
exactly. But I mean, what do we think though? Like, we'll go quick answer. Where do we think he's going to be suspended? Like a quarter of the season? Are we going half the season, full season? What you got for it, Vitor?
I think they're gonna push for something around half the season.
Sees what you
I
got.
got
Yeah, I think half the season. I think it should. I think
Half
if
the
you,
season.
I mean, I think it should be just because you got to teach him a lesson eventually.
Okay.
Again, not
Yeah.
saying he didn't break laws, but again, it's NBA. You have
Yeah.
a bigger brand above your head.
Yeah, and I think they already gave him a month off in a sense with the last one. In a sense, they gave him like up into the playoffs a little bit.
Yeah,
right
that didn't
around
obviously
range.
do anything.
That didn't help him either.
Well, no,
thought
he
that
only
would've-
missed what he missed.
It was 8 games, but he
Yeah.
It was 8 game suspension.
but he missed games before that.
Yeah, when he was like, the first.
So it was
four,
17, I
three,
think. It was
four.
17, I think, in total.
Yeah,
I'm
and I
not
think that's
mistaken.
where and if you ain't learning from that already, I think it has to be the next thing is half the
Yeah.
season, man.
Yeah.
Well, there's prior precedent too with like arenas. And
Exactly.
someone else.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
there was like 43 and 50 game suspensions
Right.
for the
Yeah.
2 prior gun suspensions in the NBA. So
Yeah.
this looks like it'll be around probably that same mark.
Yeah.
And I think
they're
it's
gonna make
lucky
an
they don't-
example out of him.
There's a
Yeah,
lot
he's
of
lucky he ain't on that Gilbert Arenas treatment. He could be out the league.
right.
Well, yeah, if this man rocks up to the
yeah.
arena with the gun, his career's
Yeah.
over.
And especially bringing it into the locker room, like that's what Gilbert did, which I understand. But yeah, we'll just have to see. It's unfortunate at this point, but again, it's just everybody's calling him. I mean, everybody's calling him a kid. I mean, the guy's 24 years old, has children already, has his own house and stuff like that. I don't consider him a kid. You know,
You make
he's been-
30 mil, you ain't no kid to me.
that's what I'm saying. You know, it's not like, he's the one who's controlling his actions. It's not like, somebody's controlling his actions at that point, but we'll just have to see. It's unfortunate, but
All
sucks,
right,
man.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. But let's go into the next part, which is I know Isaac had another topic that we'll follow up with after this one. It's about the coaches. A lot of coaches getting dropped. They're dropping like flies. And we're not talking about just coaches.
especially
Talking
after
about
like
Coach
2,
of the
3, 4
Year
years.
winners. Talking about NBA championship winners.
Finals appearances.
Dating back to 2020, Frank Vogel got dropped after he won the chip. Budenholzer got dropped. Monty got dropped.
Doc.
Doc Rivers got dropped, and then Nick Nurse just got dropped,
Yep.
or last year
Hey,
got
you know that
dropped.
video. Nick got dropped. Monty
So
got
I mean,
dropped.
that's 5 guys that have won big awards and big titles that are now getting dropped. Kind of curious as to why. I personally don't really get it. Maybe Doc might be the one I understand the most.
Doc is the most understandable out of them.
I was
would say.
surprised.
Yeah.
Frank Vogel was also pretty. That one that kind of
Yeah,
saw it
that
coming.
one-
It felt
yeah.
like it reached the cap there.
Nick Nurse also felt like that. That felt like it was bound to blow after
That was souring, yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't think his though was Doc. We know was based on performance because he hasn't made it out of the second round in a decade. So that
Second
one,
round.
that one was definitely performance based. Nick Nurse, I'll go the same with that as well because after Kawhi left,
Right.
he
It
really
felt like
has
you weren't
improved
great
himself.
before that, and you weren't great after that.
Yeah, and Monty was just in the position now where new ownership comes in, new ownership or that new regime didn't hire him, and
Right,
obviously they saw that now. Okay, 2 straight years of losing by 30 in the game that we absolutely need. So
Crib, by the way, at the crib.
exactly. Budenholzer, I feel like was just very unfortunate. Obviously, the news that his brother died in a car crash that same week that they lost to the Heat in this series as well. Him, I was a tad surprised, but I think the fact that you're the number 1 seed and you lost to a play-in team that you should have dominated.
I think for me, for Bud, it was more like I thought he should have been fired the year they won it.
Yeah, I mean,
Even though they won it,
they won it,
but that
his
saved
career,
him.
Yeah.
And it feels like now it was like
his biggest.
But the
fan.
thing was,
Yeah,
it didn't. I
benefit
feel
of the
like it
doubt.
didn't feel like that because I feel like with Vogel, him winning it actually saved him because obviously he wasn't their number 1 choice. But I would say it's something that like not. I mean, it's kind of similar, but like not.
Yeah.
Well, I think we was talking about Budenholzer in the previous episode. I think Budenholzer lately, even this year, he's had these questionable decisions while coaching, like how he was questioning Billy Donovan decision making. Budenholzer's decision making was the same a little bit too. And then when you look at that Miami series, it just doesn't make sense. You're the number 1 seed. I don't want to call Miami a play-in team because they should have been in the playoffs to me, in a sense, because that team was just banged up all year. But for you all to lose Giannis and they lose Tyler Hero to me was going to be a bigger loss than Giannis, just because you guys have that camaraderie of playing without certain guys all throughout the year. I think that series should have been a little bit better, but to fire him, that was too hasty.
Well,
same thing with Monty.
I think it was the fact that not only did they lose, they blew those 2 games at the end. They had leads in the fourth quarter with like 5-6 minutes left, and they blew them both. And I think that's where they're kind of looking at him as like, you need to be able to coach and manage these situations.
Yeah.
But
what were you gonna say about Monty?
But with like Monty, I think he even said it last year as they lost in the game 7 against Dallas. He was losing the locker room before the season even started. Then you bring back a disgruntled DA who don't even like Monty. Like they had to have a whole powwow throughout the year, and then DA decides to play crap. Then you still rocking out with CP3 like this man's still in his prime. And when we could have been trying to legit trade him earlier or run some other guys at this point position, to me, I think his decision making pushed him out the door. And you can't get your guys ready to play a playoff game. Even though I still don't, even with those situations, even with like Doc, I can't control those guys coming out to me.
But Doc has had that repeated disappointment. That's the only thing that separates him a lot. Is that he had that disappointing year after year.
But for me, for Monty, you going back to the crib. You ain't playing that bad.
Yeah.
And then you just got no energy. Like, it's just nowhere in here. You scored 24 last year in the first half and then scored 50. You was down 30 still. Like, the defensive effort was just not there. I don't know if it was his schemes, but your teams are not coming out to play in these bigger games, and that's the saddest thing. And you don't got stars on that team.
Cam Johnson and Mikal Bridges, man.
Them big losses. I think you had those. You had those
defense
back in that
killer,
series. You could have changed it.
Defense is killer.
Did you guys see what Rashid said today?
No.
About that? He said that Boston team that won in 2008, that they would, after the huddles and during timeouts, they would then huddle up themselves, the 5 players going back on the court, and they'll be the ones deciding what they were going to do if they were going to.
Nice.
They were
going to listen to the coach.
Apparently, Doc was like the locker room manager. Like he was a great locker room presence.
Yeah.
But his game coaching was not there. The team had veterans that took it upon themselves to get together.
You could see it though.
Yeah, and I mean,
been
you've seen
it for years.
And Doc, I'm sorry, Doc Rivers he's overrated. Doc Rivers is overrated. The only thing that gets him jobs is because of that 08 title with Boston and KG, Paul Pierce, and Ray Allen. Other than that, he's just a typical regular season coach that's just had success, but is never going to get you over the hump with his X's and O's. That's never going to happen.
Oh, and now you could tell that in the series, just Boston. It's just no way you got the most dominant big in the game, and this man can't get off to me.
I'm sorry, when you got James Harden as well, not even taking more than 3-4 field goal attempts and not even scoring in games 5 through 7. Are you serious?
Yeah, and
especially when he was getting him downhill, those games he had those 45 or 40 pointers, getting downhill, you don't go back to it. That's stupid to me.
It's dumb. But Doc Rivers, I think he's gonna get another job. Does he deserve one? I don't think so. Because it's just going to be the same thing.
I think it's a job,
Doc, I don't know, because the follow-up question he was talking, that follow-up question, it's a lot of good candidates coming up.
Yeah.
And I don't think Doc.
But I'm saying as a contending team looking for a missing, like at least like a good coach, I'm not going to waste my time on him. I already know what I'm getting with him.
Yeah,
I don't see him signed to a contender, but he's definitely gonna have a job in this league, one place or another, because he has proven that he is a very good regular season coach, and I think he's a good coach for teams looking to move in the right direction. But you have to know that he's a bridge guy. That he's not going to be the one to get you to the title. He'll get you to that spot before you need.
Star-studded.
So unless you get before, he's going to get you to that spot where now we need to make a change so we can win.
Right.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you're a team that's like, like a Raptors, for example, you might be needing somebody like that who can get the team going and then move on from him to bring in somebody who can put you over the hump.
Yeah.
But I can see that happening more so than a contender biting on him.
Well, let's go to the follow-up then. Isaac had posed a question that there are, with all of these vacancies now, we're looking at 5 or 6 coaching vacancies going into next season. There's been a few coaches that have already gotten rumored to have had looks at by these teams, and some of these guys don't really have as much head coach experience or none, right? Or none, in comparison to some of the guys that have already been dropped. Do we think that's good? Do we think it's bad? How are we feeling on that? Isaac, you can probably start. You would kind of.
I think it's just a little rough because there's guys like a Sam Cassell, who I feel like he even got heated in the middle of the Sixers game. He yelling at Doc like, dude, like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Like, I think he deserves a more chance. It's just, to me, like Mark Jackson, for instance. It's no way in hell Mark Jackson should not have just never got a job again. Like, just no way. He built that
that's
team
all politics.
Steve Kerr got that team.
That's all politics, though.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
But that's rough, though. And now he's getting looks at I think he's getting looks from Milwaukee now. But even then, you got guys like that. I like one candidate that's out there right now everybody talking to is Kevin Ollie. Kevin Ollie had that team with Shabazz Napier, UConn moving really well when they weren't even supposed to be winning it that year. Right. It's just little people like that. But then you joke, I have no things. I really want JJ Redick to get a job, but he doesn't have any experience as a head coach.
It feels like he's moving so quick through the world.
It's not even a head coach. He hasn't done any coaching.
Yeah.
No coaching. Level. He's going from strictly the head coach. When we just went through this experience, I feel like with Steve Nash, and Steve Nash was only a shooting coach and then became a head coach. He didn't become an assistant first. Like, there's no experience being built to these guys. And then everybody want to put all this blame on them. I'm blaming the owners, the ownership, the organization, because now your team faltering because you're not really putting guys in the office that's supposed to see for you. And that's what it's like, kind of sucks. Because it's like, how long you want to be an assistant coach, to be honest, in the NBA? Like, you making good money, but like, at some point you want the
opportunity. Yeah, you want the opportunity.
Like, you watch these other guys, they ain't got a single lick of experience, but they could talk on ESPN really well. But let's bring them in for this job instead of me. Like, that's rough to me.
That's what I'll say too. Like, out of everything for like the coaching carousel so far with the teams that do have open spots, the fact that Sam Cassell to me right now is not any finalist for any job, that's just head scratching, because obviously there must be something else behind that nobody knows about. Obviously, it's got to be it's got to be some politic wise, but it's just then like teams are going to be like, I'm going to give you this short leash, and then 2 or 3 years you're not even going to be able to really make your mark. And we've talked about this before with new head coaches, especially going into the NFL. But with the NFL, it's completely different. You're really, really hands-on and stuff. And compared to that, if you may not have that assistant coaching position, even though you're like a position coach, you still have a relationship with players instead of just bringing them literally off of the studio street into like a locker room and expecting all that. I mean, it's just weird in my opinion. I just think it's a lot of media push, and I just think it's people now just kind of, at least owners, I would say, kind of going for the name. They're not really going for like the experience anymore, but then they have an excuse of like, this isn't working out anymore. We cut our ties. Now we're going to make a more serious coaching search. That's just literally the carousel.
Because I feels almost like that you get the face, and then it's the assistant coaches that are doing a lot of the dirty work behind the scenes anyways.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I have no problem with JJ Redick getting the interview. I think if you're going through a coaching search, you want to interview every single
coach though.
You want to interview. I just want to hear
my thing. Like,
you want to hear every view, right? You might just be interviewing him just to do the interview and hear him out. That's completely fine. If they move on to the next round and he's still there, that's where I'm going to see a bit of a problem. I did find out he's not a finalist for that job, but when you give him the interview like that, though, right? You open up lanes for everybody else to be like, oh, let me get him an interview too. Because like, why are you interviewing him? So now he's just getting more head coaching job interviews when we just said it before. Sam Cassell didn't even get a look. Kenny Atkinson still didn't get a look. It's guys like that that's just like ready to go, don't get a look. Steve Nash don't even get a look. At least he got coaching experience. He sucked. At least he got experience. I look at Toronto specifically. I think the reason they even gave JJ a shout is because they clearly had a player-coach issue within Nick Nurse and the guys not agreeing.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So they definitely wanted to try that route of, hey, should we talk to, an ex-player,
former player,
who might be able to relate to these guys better and have a better relationship. So I understand it. Like I said, I don't think it's the right move. He hasn't proven anything. Not even, hasn't coached college, hasn't been an assistant, nothing. He's been on ESPN and podcasts since he retired. And
I just feel like it's a little quick for him, dude.
Well, I mean, I don't think he's gonna. I don't see him
start this podcast booms. Now ESPN, you're broadcasting, and now you're on ESPN talk shows, and now you're getting head coaching looks within like 2 years.
That's rough to me.
2 years, that's insane.
I mean, we also got to consider we don't know what some of these assistants might be happy where they're at.
Yeah,
like I
agree.
A guy like Kenny Atkinson has been a head coach, and he was fairly successful as a head coach.
And the thing with him too is that he's looking for he knows like he's looking for the right opportunity. I'm not just gonna jump the gun and leave Golden State when I have this success. I mean, and that's where it comes back with Isaac of like you're still making good money, but like guys like that, like you just won a championship. I'm gonna make sure I go to the right opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, if you ask
me, why can't he get a look for one of these?
Why you can't get a look you'd want? Like the Bucks are. I'm sure people would love to interview for the Bucks job. I don't see a lot of guys wanting to work in Toronto right now, considering what they've got going on in terms of their player coaching relationships. They have a mess in the offseason. I understand why some coaches might have turned down requests that we don't even know about.
Yeah.
But then now, especially that Phoenix job is probably pretty attractive to most coaches. That Milwaukee job is going to be super attractive because Giannis is a super coachable guy, and he's
that was one question I was going to pose to you guys. What out of at least the high profile ones, teams that are like contenders, what would you say we'll use Philly, we'll use the Suns, and then Milwaukee. We'll use those three. What would you say is the best opportunity for a coach to go to, or the best team for that coach to go to out of those three?
No question. To me,
there's no question.
Already built team.
Yeah, and the superstar
probably needs the least.
Yeah, the superstar there is in my opinion, the most workable as well. I think we've seen that
most coachable too.
Yeah, KD's had some issues with some coaches. Joel and Harden, clearly not the most coachable guys on the planet. I don't think you want your superstar saying, "Hey, I need some help from my teammates," when you're shooting 27%.
That was crazy.
And then also. Then also, too, when you're looking at those three teams, I just think the camaraderie between those three teams. Milwaukee's a deeper team than both of those teams to me.
Yeah.
And they all just work. They all understand roles already to me. Like, they know my three tops is Drew, Chris, Giannis. Everybody else.
I'm actually proud of you, to be honest with you. I'm very proud of you right now.
You know what?
Come on, man. Let's be realistic.
He wants
Let's
Devin
be
Booker coaching
realistic.
Phoenix. That's what
Yeah.
he wants.
Yeah, like, because I feel like, to me right now, if you look at the Phoenix roster, and I dissect that a little bit, we talked about this is why they got their ass kicked by Denver. There's no depth, but
Yep,
there's so much
0.
money up top. There's not a lot you can do with that. Like, I'm expecting like DA to get traded to Atlanta. Like, I would love to bring Bogdanovich. I don't know
at
if
this
the hell
point,
gonna do the job.
they got rid of DA's problem, so maybe
Well, DA is other problem.
That's why now he said that he like, I love Phoenix. I'm gonna play hard, continue to play hard for them.
Exactly,
Like
and
that
that's
was
why I
probably
was-
Well, you
why.
can't.
I was-
The key word was saying continue to play hard. No, I need
Ah.
you just to play hard. You don't say continue.
But
Okay,
Season's
he
right
needs to
though.
play-
Got rid of his root issue probably, which was Monty Williams because he
Yeah,
didn't like, you know.
He also sucks without Chris Paul. Like,
Yes.
if he
That's
doesn't have
my
Chris
thing.
Paul
Like,
in that
he's
pick and
not
pop,
fit.
giving him the ball,
hey, you leave
Open.
DeAndre Jordan alone.
he is. That's what I'm like.
Made that man into an all-star.
Unless they're able to get a true, floor general point guard in some sort of way in a return, they're not.
I don't even think they
see him
need a
being effective.
I was gonna say now.
I
I was
just
gonna
don't
say
think
that.
I don't think DA is effective without a floor general who can just give him the
Mm.
ball where he needs it
And
in his
that's
spots.
And I feel like that's why with that team, you have to move both of those guys.
That's what
Yeah.
I was
CP
talking about the
don't
Atlanta
work,
fit in the chat.
DA don't work. Get that shit to Book. Let him run the one. We was playing, and let Cam run the one.
Mhm.
Whoever else you want to run the one, but let the Book handle that. Let KD and them handle that ball handling activity. Put some guys, some good role players. Like, that team need to be built like almost like, I ain't even say the old Brooklyn squad we was just talking about before they all Kyrie and Kevin decided they just don't
Yeah,
want to play
with like
I still think
D'Lo,
they're pushing for
Spencer,
the
but
finals if they don't break that up, bro.
Yeah, I mean, if they were
Yeah, that's
healthy that
still
one
what they
year, they
win, but
would have pushed the.
But this year,
But to get better players to that's
Pre-trade
gonna be
deadline.
willing,
yeah.
and two guys, well, Book just care about winning. He skip playing everything. He just want to win. But even then, they need guys that's gonna be able to take pressure off for them and
All right.
unload some of that score load. So
all right,
we'll see. That's why
I'm
this shit's
reeling
not
this
effective.
in. I'm reeling this in. We all said
Yeah.
Milwaukee. Danny, what do you go
Yeah.
with?
I'm actually gonna go with Phoenix.
Okay.
So are we?
Surprised.
so
I
they're
just
gonna make
think
That's
it's
discipline.
I just think it's more so because the new ownership, like he's true basketball head. Like he knows like the
Mhm.
ins and outs of the game,
Okay.
taking control, and he really wants to just spend money. So I think that's a big thing that you have. Milwaukee is very end with money so far with the ownership. And Philadelphia, you just don't know what the roster is going to look like next year and if James Harden is even going to come back.
They got a super max and two max guys on there. That's why the rest is getting meh. Them guys are taking up the entire salary cap themselves.
On who, Philly or what are you talking about?
Milwaukee.
Milwaukee.
You got
well, yeah, but
Drew, Chris,
but
and Giannis taking up.
but
like
either
100
way,
mil.
yeah, but either way, it's like you don't repeatedly see them like, or at least you haven't gotten that okay from ownership of like we're gonna literally spend whatever it takes. But like from Phoenix, you're getting that okay. So I just think that's the more attractive one. So
All right. So with that said, we're gonna bounce into. I'm gonna rework a little bit here, but we're gonna go to the two teams that lost. The two teams that lost. We're going with Philadelphia and the Suns. We can start with the Sixers, who again are bouncing the second round for what, the third or fourth year in a row now.
third straight year,
Third straight year
now.
because they
Yeah.
lost in the ECF, I believe, to Kawhi's
Yes.
Raptors that
Yeah,
year
that
on the shot
yeah.
in Game 7. But what do we feel like is next for them? I mean, we're about to touch it right there. Kind of Joel leads into that. He feels that him and Harden need more help. I mean, in my opinion, the best player their entire playoffs was probably Tobias Harris with the most consistency.
Most consistent, yeah.
And he was guarding the other team's number one the entire time. Maxey showed up in multiple games. Again, he had a few off nights, but he showed up in multiple
Maxey
games.
did his
30
job.
plus
Well,
games.
especially down the
And
last,
and again,
4 or
that's what I
5
was saying.
games of
His
the Boston
job, he did what
series.
he was supposed to do, which is to score the ball and be a 3-point shooting spark and get to the cup, take some pressure off of James and Joel scoring wise. But it almost felt like he was saying that they were the two that need the most help, but yet it felt like they were also
Played the worst.
the ones to
Yeah.
show up the most. I mean, I feel like Joel was there the majority outside of Game 7. But
That's a big
James, for
difference, though.
sure, outside of games 1 and 4, James was fairly non-existent.
Yeah.
Offensively. And
Pedestrian
that
at
could
best.
be on Doc, that could be on whatever, But I just feel like if you're a superstar, you gotta assert yourself regardless of what the coach is saying. But what do we feel like for the Sixers? Just, I mean, if you guys just want to go through it quick.
I
Obviously,
mean,
a lot of question
for
marks around James in general.
Yeah, his,
for me, they made that
And
huge
the
mistake
coaching.
after the Toronto series, not giving Jimmy Butler his money.
mhm.
I think that's going to haunt this organization for longer than I think a lot longer than people think. I believe that following year, if they would have had the chance to stay together, I believe that they probably would have went to the finals with Jimmy Butler
Right.
instead
And
of
Jimmy
them
plays
picking
so well
Tobias.
around Joel as well.
And I mean, he even
We've
played
seen
well.
Jimmy be able
He
to
played well
playmate.
around Ben Simmons. Like,
Right, and he plays
As
well
well.
But also too though,
yeah,
but also too, when we think about the next question for Phoenix, Jimmy Butler's a leader.
Mhm.
yeah,
right.
He showed you that off the rip. Like even when the Bulls was breaking down, he started showing you he a leader. He
yeah.
called out a Minnesota team to get them to be more tougher, and then got his way up out of them.
Well, he led them
Yeah.
to their
Put him
first
in the-
playoff appearance in what, 19 years, something like that.
Mhm.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
you bring him in the field, he does the same thing, and then you went with Tobias Harris over Jimmy. That's like Danny, you're not lying. I think that's gonna haunt them for a minute because this is what that team's missing, that leader.
Like they got
Joel
it in
Embiid-
they got it in PJ, but you
But it's
needed you
PJ
need
when
but you
you're
gotta think
when
about
you're
it.
not a very impactful player.
yeah, that's the thing.
That's
You
what I'm
needed
saying.
to
Think
be
about it. That's like
scoring. Yeah,
filling holes. Like
Yeah, that's like asking. That's like to me. That's like Ben Simmons posting them after the game, like they lose about 30. Like, gang, we lost by the last stuff with you on the floor. Like, don't post
Yeah.
that. Take that down, man. Like, that's how I feel about that. PJ is not a leader. They need somebody to have some toughness. PJ got the toughness, but he's not a leader.
Yeah.
They needed that leader and some toughness, and that's a Jimmy Butler. Joel Embiid, if things ain't going right, he's not a leader. James Harden tucks his tail when he's not playing well, and like he's succumbing to everything that Joel Embiid wants to do.
he'll keep not playing well though.
Yeah.
He will
Yeah,
continue
and
to
that's-
try and continue to not play well.
Play well, and then Maxey's trying his best, but he's just young. He's not that leader yet to them. Like they need somebody like another player. It doesn't have to be a star, but you need that impactful leader to help them get to the next part. Because nowhere in hell that Joel Embiid and Harden plays like shit in Game 7 like that.
I mean, Lillard.
If they got Jimmy on
I
the
was
floor.
gonna say with Harden
Let Harden
supposedly on his
dip
way
and
to Houston.
Go friggin'
Already-
sign D Lil.
Yeah, they already got him at -125 to be in Houston next year. Plus 400 for him to stay in.
Brandon D. Lillard.
That's how confident they are that he's heading back to Houston. So
Yeah, Brandon D. Lillard, though. That's a smart option too to me.
I just
Because
think
D.
though
Lillard's a leader.
the James Harden experiment though, I think you got to cut it.
You have to.
I think that with James Harden, he's not a championship guy. He's not going to get you there. They just got to retool. They just have to try something else again. You got to continue. Joel Embiid, I don't think is going to leave. I don't think he's that type of player. He's not going to leave that franchise. It's a good franchise overall. It's a good market overall. They're still able to get players, but you just got to
But how
rework that
does-
whole roster.
But how does playing with Zach LaVine sound?
It's just as worse.
Oh,
Yeah.
come on.
I think the
at least
only
he-
way
that's
you're
funny.
able to
At least
make
he
a
plays harder than Harden.
Yeah, I think the only way the Philly is able to maximize the talents of Joel is if, like y'all said, if they get a guy like Damian Lillard who is a leader but can show up when it matters the most, or at least
Most.
know how to defer. So
Well,
that's
but
what
they gotta
they
figure
need.
something out, 'cause
Yeah, they need
got
to.
Joel,
You can't take
he's making a 14 million almost raise into next season. They got
Yep.
Tobias on the books for 39 mil.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Yeah, he gotta go. I'm sorry. Tobias making too
Next
much
year
to
is his
plan like
last year
that.
under contract.
Yeah, I mean they're gonna have to ship him to like a
Oh,
bottom feeder.
Oh, goodness
Who can
gracious.
absorb
like that's the thing. They're gonna
39
have
mil.
I
if
can
they
see
work
him
it out the
Spurs.
right if they work it out the right way, they'll have a ton of cap space.
If they
And
they
maybe
can
try and make a-
obviously
a-
let Harden walk.
Yeah, turn down that player
Maybe
off and let him
move
walk.
Tobias.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at it after
Sign
that,
D.
their next
Lil.
highest contract on the books, if Harden opts out, is 11 mil for PJ.
They'll need another wing defender though if Tobias goes.
100%, yeah.
Because Tobias is definitely a solid defender.
Hmm.
That'd be
But
tough.
they
Man.
just-
They're in a
they
tough
need to
spot,
do
and they
something.
don't even got no damn coach right now.
Oh.
On top of that,
Yeah.
so like, how you supposed to pick a coach and then pick guys to fit the coach's style or
Hmm.
whatever, So
It'll be interesting. They got to
Again,
do something
I still
though.
think they're going to be competitive. I still think they finish top 6 next year with Joel alone. Like he's a
Mhm.
regular season absolute monster. So I definitely still think they're in a good spot to at least make playoffs next year. But
Yeah, I mean,
definitely a lot of question marks coming off of a potential conference finals run.
Yeah.
Isaac, we're gonna go to your team now. And then we have another KD related question. But the Suns bounced. We did kind of expect it. Went 2 games farther than I did. Expect again.
I said
did score. They did score 80 in games 3 and 4 to help them push it to 6. But again, they just kind of ran out of firepower. You have your 2 guys at the top, and your supposed 3rd star gets hurt, and then your supposed 3.5 star doesn't want to play anymore, or at least play hard. That boy Charmin, ultra soft. But how are we feeling about the Suns? What are we thinking for next year? Again, another team with a coaching vacancy.
I think it'll be better. Now, the reason I'm gonna say it's going to be better. It depends. It's going to hinge on how you build the roster around Book and KD.
Yeah.
Now, the reason why I think it didn't work so much, I think the biggest thing was when KD got hurt in the warmups, as that team was picking up steam. Because then at that point, it was like he had to basically reintegrate himself back onto a new team. And when you're dealing with a deep ass team like Denver, we don't got time to be reintegrating back into the offense. Which is why I feel like you're getting 30 shots from Kevin Durant, 30 shots from Booker. And that's just because Monty is legit trying to rely on 2 guys who know how to just get it done on their own. That's why their offense looked like shit to me. Yeah. But also, when you're trying to run a Josh Okogie, a TJ Warren, a Terrence Ross, there's not a lot of defense into that, which is the biggest thing when you let go of a Cam and a Mikal to me. So they'll be good because you'll let Book and KD get some on. But also, I think they a little bit – well, KD is the type of guy who's going to respond. He don't like losing like that. Mm-hmm. He showed you that before. He's going to – I think he's going to respond. He's going to have more games on his belt. He just got to stay healthy this year. He's going to have more games on his belt. But I do think they can do some damage. But if they're not going to add no depth, you can't compete with Denver. You can't. You can't compete with LA when they role players are stepping up like that. You can't compete with like a Steph and them when they get their actual good role players kicking it up a notch. That's my thing. If I can't get no role players stepping up and being something consistent for us, then it's going to be the same thing each year. But they got to figure out these closeout games one way or the other. Because ain't nobody trying to be watching games 6 and 7s and you losing by 50. That shit's getting depressing now.
Yeah. I definitely think they need to target defense for sure. Because they have bucket getters already. Again, I would actually bring back Terrence Ross or TJ Warren. I'd bring back some of those guys because it does assist Book and KD in spreading the floor and keeping the defense honest. And I think we saw that in the 2 games at home. When those guys were knocking down a few shots here and there, it opened up the floor for the 2 guys to really eat. Yeah. But again, it's tough when you can put up 120, but you can't hold the team under that. So they definitely need to target. Maybe go get a dog in the draft or something. See if you can get somebody.
Well, that's the thing. Well, that's why I like Matty Sheba so much because the last one, my last guy, he didn't like drafts. Yeah. Hopefully, Matty Sheba likes the draft. So it should be turning around in Phoenix. So they do got Book and KD for a minute, but they're gonna have to move on from CP and DA though too at the same time.
Right, and that's some pieces you could get as well from another team. You can get some young studs. I think there's a lot of teams that would like DA right now.
Yeah. I mean,
in reality, you can get at least, I would say, out of CP and DA, you can at least get back 4 to 5 players. I truly believe so.
I think there you go. You got your dub. A couple starters and a couple role players.
Yeah, it's like I said
maybe a pick or 2 here.
Yeah, I said it whatever day it was that we were talking in the chat. I said to go Capella and Bogdanovich for Ayton.
Yeah,
money's pretty close to matching. It gives them more play time for Okongwu, who they're really high on.
I like
and he can play next to DA. And I think that's the biggest.
More athletic, I feel like.
That's exactly
what. More things.
But then, I like that pickup for Phoenix just because you get a big that's going to play tough inside and
protect the rim, which allows KD to play.
Yeah, but then you get somebody who takes another scoring load off Book and KD when he can just hide in the scenes now. That's Bogdanovich.
He can create for himself.
Yeah, because he wasn't getting a terrible amount of minutes in the playoffs.
No, he was. I mean, he's oftentimes their second most important player. But I was looking at the money stuff and they have Hunter's contract extension kicking in. He's getting a 10 mil raise.
The money and the fit though.
Yeah, I think on both sides it makes a lot of sense. I did say they would have to move Collins as well because you can't have Collins and DA because then you're getting 2 of the same. One's just smaller and more athletic.
But again, they could also get a decent flip, I think, for Collins as well.
Yeah, so I think to me that's what makes the most sense as of right now. But it's clear, DA, he's young. That's always going to mean he's going to have soon.
That's always going to keep you in the league.
Yeah,
if you can harness his whatever type of lack of
Attitude.
effort or attitude is probably the best way to put it. We've seen that he's still a 20-20 monster.
Yeah, I mean,
on this night.
there's no reason he
But
should
let me
be
ask
a
you this.
25 and 10 guy.
Yeah,
Let me
consistently.
ask you this. Let me ask you this. So there was a video circulating around in the playoffs where like Devin Booker talking to DA on the bench. And DA doesn't even make eye contact with Devin
Yeah,
Booker.
gets up and sits
Should that
over.
be a level of concern for you as you bringing him to another team? So like if I'm in Atlanta, I'm bringing him to Trey. Like, should I have a level of concern with DeAndre Ayton if I got my star player or like your franchise guy, aka Devin Booker, talking to him and he still ain't turning around? Should I have?
I think the only difference with that though is that Devin Booker has grown into trying to be that leader. Like now he's gotten that taste of winning after basically being a loser the first like quarter of his NBA career.
His whole NBA career, he ain't won nothing.
Yeah, but DA was with him too though.
No, I understand, but at the same time now, like obviously we're getting getting the CP, getting the KD, being around Team USA as well, and seeing around how they work. But if DA goes to Atlanta, Trey's gonna just do his own thing. It's not like Trey's gonna really hold him accountable. What's always been the issue is that players haven't liked Trey because of his hero ball, and he's never messed with coaches, and he's also never improved defensively, which is why he's a liability. And that's also gonna butt heads with coaches. So I just don't think he'll butt heads with Trey. It'll be an interesting fit. If he were to go to Atlanta, I think it would be a decent fit. But I just don't. I don't think it's anything you would have to worry about. Like if you were at Atlanta and you got him in your locker room.
And I think
just because it was like, because you watch, it was clips of CP3 talking to him, DA walking away. You got Kevin Durant talking to him, he walking away. Devin Booker trying to talk to him, he's still not paying attention. Then he's still playing like shit, but then he mad that he ain't playing. Like. And then you go on to to Trey, like Trey give it to you, but like what's gonna happen when these games get tougher, DA? Like, are you gonna quit on them? That's how I'm looking at it. That's my level of concern with it. And that's why I posed that question. Should that be that level of concern? And I like your point, Danny. But should it be that level of concern? Because that's three different stars who all like leaders, who all change teams in other ways and other groups.
I mean, you're gonna be
just
concerned, but I think if you're a team that's on that timeline where you're looking to bring in that, like, he's still young. You want to improve and be a team that can fight for something, but you're not necessarily in contention yet. I think the possible, the possible good outweighs the possible bad in this scenario, right? Because at his worst, he is a, sheepish 15-8 guy. Yep. At his best, he's a dominant force who can give you 25,
20 and 10, yeah.
Like, so if the worst case scenario is, hey, he's gonna be kind of like John Collins, Atlanta's like, hey, we've been there, done that. So at least they get a guy who's at least a little bit more of a fit in terms of his actual just body style. He's not like, because Collins is a little bit undersized, so he falls in that little tweener category where sometimes if he's not playing well, he's not giving you enough size or defense. At a 4. He might be too small, but he's still too big to guard some of the quicker guys. Yeah. So at least with DA, you're getting a guy who's a 5 and can be on the court regardless.
So what do we feel about a Chris Paul move then? Because I mean, he's going to be 37,
that's going to cost the Suns a lot of assets.
I'd say it'll cost them probably like a first round pick.
And your whole bench
it's going to have to be one of those where you're giving out picks and.
I'd say probably like a
player.
Yeah, like a first and a second pick, first round, second round pick in CP, probably for like a bad contract and maybe a decent role player, I would probably say.
Would you take trading CP3 for 1 year of Tobias Harris at $40 million?
Hell no.
It constrains you for 1 year, but then you can re-sign Tobias.
Where's your wing D though? Hey,
I'll take that shit.
You know what?
I'll take that shit. Yeah, I'll take that shit.
Hey, if he plays like he played in the playoffs, goddamn.
I'll take that. At least Tobias
15 and
at least he'll give you something. He ain't gonna stop fighting. He'll give you something.
And he does randomly get injured again.
That's one of those guys.
9th time in the playoffs.
Durable. And I think, hey, maybe the fit with CP works.
I was about to say,
that's what I'm saying. Because that'll be a true point guard for him. Will it work? Fuck no. But it'll at least be. It'll just be better numbers for CP, and he'll probably improve them, maybe, or show leadership, but it's not going to be the same thing. It's not going to do anything, unfortunately. But
that's the only thing I can think of off the top of my head. Obviously, the NBA, you never know.
Yeah, it'll be a surprise team.
Yeah, you attach enough assets, you can
go ahead. Because question: Because there have been rumored too to make another move. They bring back Mikal Bridges. I don't know how the hell that's supposed. I don't know how that's supposed to work out. It's been running around that Phoenix won't try to make another run at the
You're gonna have just
month.
3
Bring it back.
players. They're gonna be running 3-on-5 every night. No bench, no extra, no 5 players on the court, just 3-on-5.
And that's how
Alabama that
about
one
it.
year.
3-on-12.
Yeah, nah, that's not gonna happen. That's a pipe dream.
For another question though, Danny, I think you posed it about Kevin Durant here.
Yeah.
You did post it. Okay. So just an overall question, which I think is pure blasphemy, but I'm gonna just entertain this just for you, Danny. Is Kevin Durant overrated? And I know you're not talking about it in a talent wise, but on a way of, is he able to actually lead his own team to like a finals appearance or to possibly win a title?
We back on this bus driver thing?
This overrated just was a terrible fucking phrase, I will say.
Well, what would you say? That was the only thing I could think of off the top of my head.
Just
before
right
I lost
away,
the idea.
can Kevin Durant lead his own team?
Okay.
Is he a bus driver or is he just riding the bus?
Yes. Because
He
I
is
will
not.
say he bus drove before Golden State.
Mm-hmm.
He did lead them to a finals appearance. Again, they
And
did
he hopped
have
on the
Golden
bus.
State in
Yeah.
the conference finals.
So
which they
he
should've
sat in the backseat of that bus.
But in Golden State, he was definitely, in my opinion, the bus driver.
I mean, yeah, he was their best player in those.
He was
those
the
finals
both.
runs.
Yes, 100%.
Brooklyn,
That's
he
the
was the
reason
bus
you-
driver.
In Brooklyn, he was the bus
And
driver.
he was a step away
but
from
all of his teammates kept getting hurt in
Yeah.
key situations.
And he
Even
still-
if one of James or Kyrie would have stayed healthy.
Yeah.
If Kyrie, of the two of them, if Kyrie wouldn't have absolutely destroyed his ankle, which was, I rewatched that clip a couple days
Yeah,
ago.
that was nasty.
That was a really
nasty.
bad,
Yeah.
like 90-degree freaking
Yeah.
ankle sprain. But yeah, I think he's bus drove everywhere he's gone, which I think is just blasphemy to me. But
I think he gets
I'm
the
curious.
narrative because he's so good. He's on a tier with a guy like a Steph, a LeBron, right? Where we're
no,
talking
he's
about
not. He's not.
you
No, he's
wouldn't
not.
put him on that tier
No, he's a step
as an
above.
individual player.
They- 'cause
Yeah.
they won already.
Talent wise, he's
Talent,
on that tier,
but
no,
not
he's
in-
not
They
on that
won.
tier.
He ain't
That's
won.
Mike and LeBron
I think
and
that
Steph and Larry and Magic and those other guys.
now are you doing that because of their
Yeah.
accolades and what they've won?
Yes.
And that's what I'm saying. I'm ignoring that. I'm as players,
talent-wise?
individual players.
You're talking
He's
about
on
Oh,
that tier.
pure
As-
talent. He's
as
top
a-
five
as a
ever.
basketball
He's
player.
top 5 player of all
Yeah.
time, talent wise.
So
Yes.
and that's why he gets
But he's not in
this
their
criticism more than anyone else that we've seen.
Because Steph Curry's not.
Because
Steph Curry's nowhere near a top list in talent.
Yeah.
No.
But that's
Steph
exactly
Curry's like
why-
probably middle of the road.
that's
of
why we're
all
talking
NBA
about
players
KD
in
right now not being a bus driver as opposed to other people because he's as good as these other guys who have won a lot of stuff.
But it doesn't
he
make
hasn't
sense to
seemed
me
to
when
be
if
able to-
you look at the statistics and where he's been and what role he's played, he's been the friggin' bus
Yeah.
driver. I would say in the Phoenix right now he wasn't. Would probably be the first time in his career, in my opinion.
Oh, I would agree.
This run right here that they had. Or
No, I
whatever
would-
you
yeah.
want to call it.
But
Call it a
I think one
draft.
thing we
Rough draft.
say he can't lead his own team because there was always a factor that like limit him from hitting that next level with his
Okay.
team.
And I'm gonna play devil's advocate again here. Give
Oh,
me a
I
list.
like this.
Give me a list of players that have actually led a team. Like I'm talking about because I feel like when people talk about Kevin Durant, they want him to lead
Yeah.
this trash ass team.
Yeah.
So they want him to be
That's
LeBron.
okay.
They want him to be
That's
LeBron.
what I'm
James.
for.
They want him to do
You
what
go
Jimmy's
for it.
doing right now.
Yeah.
They want him, Mike didn't do that. You know what I'm saying?
no.
Mike was
Larry
doing it and
never
getting
did
his ass
that.
handed to him in the
Steph
playoffs.
never did. Steph might have done it in 15 or
Last year,
15,
Steph
16.
did that shit.
And last year.
They were pretty good last year.
I mean,
No, but Steph was
Yeah, but
that.
he
Steph
just
was that
don't
dude
put what's
though.
his face breaking out. to
Right,
him.
but he wasn't leading a trash ass team. You have
Okay, I get what you
on
mean.
your team.
yeah,
So
Okay.
we're
But
talking
I
about
feel like people-
Cleveland
people want
Cavaliers,
Kevin
LeBron.
Durant
Yes,
to
Yes.
do
people
what
want him to
LeBron
be
did.
Cleveland LeBron. And
Yeah.
again,
And
Cleveland
if he's
LeBron
not
didn't
doing
win.
that, then he's not the bus driver. Like
Cleveland
it's just so
didn't
stupid.
win anything either.
It's just people
So-
twisting narratives.
Oh, 100%.
Okay.
Right? Am I wrong? Like
No, you're right. It's the same thing. Nobody
Yeah,
questions.
'cause-
Nobody
yeah.
questions
Nobody
LeBron
questions
for
Mike
leaving Miami
or LeBron
or
or
leaving for Miami when he was
He
leading this
couldn't
trash
win.
ass team in Cleveland, right? So it's
That's
But yet,
fair.
in my
Yes.
opinion, in 12 and 13, LeBron was the best player on the Heat.
yep.
He drove the bus. Like I don't get it. I don't get it.
It's all people don't people like to take away from they might like to make it easy or make it sound easy to win a championship whenever you're discrediting somebody.
That's true.
Like we're talking about Steph Curry as probably one of the top 5
and that's
players
my
to
thing,
ever play
like,
the game when he retires, and he wasn't even the best player when Kevin Durant was there.
And that's my other thing. I just don't think, like we was just saying, like he can't be the bus driver when he's playing with somebody else who's also supposed to be driving the bus with him. Like OKC, he had Russ. Then he had a Blossom and Harden to me. Then that was a whole move. That was his best chance to do something like that because he was the real dog. Right. But after that, everywhere he went after that, I don't think he was the bus driver because you surrounded yourself with guys who also can drive the bus.
I think if you go back to that Brooklyn team and you look at the stretches where KD missed time as opposed to where the other guys missed time, I think you see who the bus driver was because they were significantly better.
But again, you just did the same thing by saying he's not a bus driver.
Just because he's played with good players.
He's playing with Hall of Fame.
How many championship teams?
Well, I do.
That's
like
saying
have a question.
Michael Jordan was the bus driver.
I do have.
But no, see, I can't say Mike wasn't a bus driver because Mike was the leading scorer to that team. Like Mike didn't have another person on his level.
Golden State.
Leading scorer in Golden State.
Right, so I can't say he's the bus driver to me in Golden State either because you still have guys who can still do what he can do.
So Michael Jordan wasn't the bus driver.
Yeah, like LeBron didn't have nobody like that.
Where?
Kyrie,
where? Are you talking Cleveland?
Where? You talking about Cleveland?
Yeah, okay,
but he didn't win anything.
Are you talking about the second? You're talking about the second Cleveland. He's talking about the second Cleveland.
You talking about the first?
The second stint he had a stack.
The first tenure with LeBron.
Oh, first team. Okay.
Yeah,
but he didn't win anything.
He didn't win
Larry Hughes.
Yeah, it won nothing.
Yeah, but you're not gonna win nothing like that. I feel
that's exactly what it's the same argument with.
That's what. Yeah, that's what we're saying.
That's the point we're saying with Kevin Durant.
Yeah, that's the point. Yeah.
And then you go. So you can argue, hey, look at LeBron in Cleveland. He did not win as if he had such a stacked cast this time and he's such a bus driver. Why didn't they win more? Right? Because
I love LeBron, and I agree with that.
The other so-called bus driver was on the other side.
Whack-ass narrative.
You know what I mean?
It is a whack-ass narrative.
It's just discrediting one of the greatest players of all time because he hasn't won a championship.
That's what everyone does for LeBron James. It's like you were just getting into.
Yeah, it's
like,
always why
didn't he win more?
There's always something, and you can discredit that people use to discredit top players. Whether it be they had too much help,
they had not enough help. It feels like everybody except for like Mike.
Even nowadays, you see guys slandering Mike for needing help, and
I do have I guess a couple of questions. I got a couple of questions.
He had been smirking.
So let's say KD never went to Golden State that first year. Let's say Golden State still had Andrew Bogut and Harrison Barnes. Do they win another title? Yes or no?
They might win one
against the Cleveland teams that they ended up playing.
No,
you don't think so?
Might get.
I think Cleveland three-peats.
You think I think the Warriors probably get one, but I think they get one scrape.
They only won the first one because Kyrie and K-Love didn't play.
Yeah, that's because Olynyk pulled.
Olynyk took out K-Love and Kyrie got hurt in the first or second game of the finals.
Yeah, and LeBron still carry them to 7.
That was the season that was the finals. He averaged. He was the leading in every category for both teams. Yeah,
points, rebounds, assists, steals, and blocks.
Okay.
And then the following season was the 6-1 or the 3-1.
Mm-hmm. The George Hill, Kyle Korver, Deli, Tristan Thompson, aging K Love. You put Kevin Durant on that team.
Aging?
No, like towards the latter part when Kevin Love was like really limited, like he really couldn't he really wasn't as effective.
17, 18.
It was the year that
KD would be 18 only.
No, the year that KD hit that like clinching 3 over LeBron on the that one there.
Kyrie didn't play.
Hold on. You put Kyrie on that team, or it's not Kyrie. KD on that team. Does he lead that team to a championship with no Kyrie?
Is KD at that point in his career?
You talking about? Yes. So you're not comparing Kevin Durant to LeBron James?
I'm just asking.
I just
thought I was curious.
No, I don't think Kevin Durant is as good as LeBron James.
Okay.
And at that point in his career, KD was more of a scorer.
Yeah.
Yeah, like no. You can't be a scorer.
LeBron did everything for that team. Literally everything.
Okay, I like that. See, that's it's a fire. It's a fire.
He's not overrated though.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's
all right.
blasphemy.
Yeah.
I hate using that word, but
Blasphemy or overrated?
both, especially with Kevin Durant.
All right, man. What we got next? That was a good one. That was a
We're
good one,
going. Vitor, pull it up because you're gonna have it. We're going for the lottery reaction.
Oh, yeah.
though. Oof.
So that did happen at this point a friggin' hour and a half ago. But
Mhm.
but the Spurs won the
Spurs
Wemby,
won the lottery.
and then technically the Hornets won the second lottery. If you
Yeah.
think about it.
Yeah.
That's Scoot. Isaac, you might have something to kind of touch
Trail-
on that. but-
Trailblazers got third.
the Brandon Miller sweepstakes.
Well, apparently Eamon Thompson is moving up
Really?
the boards pretty high.
Yeah, he's a
But,
guard. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, hey, Adam Silver, you love hate on tanking, but you let the team that tanked their heart out get third pick.
Mm.
Yeah.
If you're gonna rig anything, you could have rigged this, man. Rockets and Pistons 4 and 5. I think they both feel probably a little bit hard done.
Very
done
salty.
by-
Um,
I don't know. The Pistons and they both also won some games they probably should have sat out on.
yeah.
Speaking of the Rockets beating the Bulls like 3 times.
Yeah, the Magic getting their own pick at 6 and the Bulls pick at 11.
Oh God.
They're
They're gonna be so good.
if I were them, I'm packaging those to move up.
Oh,
Honestly.
100%.
Honestly,
I would.
At this point, they don't need two
see what
more
Sharp
players.
wants for Scoot, bro. Oh my God.
Yeah, you got
Not
the
that they
Pacers
need
at
another
7.
guard, but that would probably finally fix their.
And the Wizards at 8, which I feel like is like every year they're picking 8 through 10.
Yep. They're like bad, but not
Jazz-
totally bad.
Yeah, the Jazz at 9. The Mavs keep their pick, getting that 10th spot. Like I said, Magic got the Bulls pick. Thunder got the 12th pick.
Mm.
Raptors 13th and the Pelicans 14th.
Some good
Yeah.
teams right there that got some pretty high picks.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
14th pick for the Pelicans is funny considering if you remember back in the beginning of the season.
Yeah, and we were talking about it possibly
when
being
they were
number
like
one.
the first seed and the Lakers having like the worst record in the NBA at the time.
Yes.
We were
Whoa,
talking about
whoa,
that.
whoa! I was not.
Yeah,
No, but it was a
we talked about the
possibility.
I've been talking about Anthony Davis
was-
healthy. They're winning the chip.
It was definitely
are.
possible.
But yeah,
They're
so-
down 20 at half.
I mean, not a crazy, not too much happened. I think in terms of like big moves.
Yeah,
Would have loved to see the Bulls get into that top 4 and keep their pick.
that would have been crazy.
It was 8 point something for top 4.
Yeah,
8.5%. Yeah.
Yeah, we had like a 70-something% chance of getting 11th pick, and hey, look at the odds then.
Yeah.
So with that recap, I wanted to pose the question, Danny, that you said of who do we feel like, and I think we might have touched on it again when we were.
I know it was
Entering
quite, I think it was kind of quick though. I think when like
Yeah,
we brought it up,
But we can
Yeah.
go a little deeper into it on the quote unquote safer prospect. Obviously, it is like a 2-horse race for the top 2 picks between Wemby
Well,
and Scoot.
I think you got more debate at 2 versus 3 than you do at 1 versus anything. I think
I guess we can kind of rearrange it as we kind of at least know where the top 3 players will probably go. I think
Yeah.
Miller,
I think it would
Scoot,
be-
and Wemby is gonna be top 3 though for sure.
yeah.
So I feel as though Wemby's going to the perfect team, perfect environment, in my opinion.
Best coach in the NBA.
I think he's to me, yes, he's this can't miss generational prospect. I'm just still not sold on him. I'm still not sold on.
Can I ask you a question? What makes you not sold on him?
I just think it's more so
Size.
I think it's more so everything. Same thing with competition and size. I just think that he's gonna get eaten up. Now, will it be something to where along the similar lines of Porzingis? I believe that coming out, Porzingis made more of a surprise than what people had anticipated, but I don't see Wemby kind of making like that. I just don't see him being that aggressive, showing that aggression, but I just don't think he's going to make that much of like I just don't see him as like, oh, he's the best prospect since LeBron is going to be the best player in like 3 years, both on the
This
offensive
man
side and
is
defensive side.
7'4". He
I
can
don't think
shoot
yet.
from anywhere on the court. He can dribble the basketball. I'm talking about spin moves between 2 defenders.
It's like what we
Like-
wish Giannis would look like if he
Yeah.
could shoot.
It's Giannis without the bulldozing. It's like Giannis with grace and finesse in his game, bro. It's,
Yeah.
'cause then
I agree with Danny though. He has
he
the
has
potential
concerns.
to be
Yes, he has
very unplayable on defense. But the problem, if you can get him inside again, if he's
But
going to be an absolute
but
monster.
if you're gonna
be honest,
if
ask
you're gonna
yourself
pin
this.
him with Embiid, yeah, of course he's gonna struggle. But
Struggle.
he's 7'4". This man has. I
They'll
watched
have
him.
Jakob Poeltl.
I watched him.
Don't they?
No, they traded him.
No,
they
he's
got
a free.
for
He's
first
a
round pick.
yeah, and he's a free
They
agent.
could get him back and put him at the 5. And
They
Wemby at the
need.
4.
I think he'd be insane as a 4.
Yes,
next to like a rim protector and
Well, I think he is the rim protector. So I think he'd pair better with a guy like a DA who's like going to be more of like a low post guy on offense.
yeah,
He could take the brunt of battling with the bigger guys.
Yeah, he can take that physical contact, and then the guy goes to turn for a little hook, and 7'4's coming flying at you from the other side of the court,
crazy help.
sending your shot to the 8th row. Like
Absolute pick and roll defense monster.
Man,
Step out
look.
and
exactly. Dude.
I just don't think it's going to be any 4s and 5s trying to chase this man off the screen.
No.
I'm just saying. You ain't
Again,
going to chase him off no hand.
there's no way.
They're gonna go big. They
Not
could
gonna
go
chase him off
big
no
pick and
hand,
roll,
bro.
man. It's
Pick
gonna
and
be
roll, handoffs. Like the way they was running that boy, and like I think what was he just coming from France? I think.
Yeah.
Well, the way they was running him, he coming off like legit handoffs, down screens, attack here, barely in the low post. By the way, barely, unless he had a mismatch. Like that's IQ to me. Like you know you ain't going down. You don't have that type of game. To me, that's an IQ to me.
Right.
But you to tell me you trust Nikola Jokic chasing him off around the screen because you could put a guard on him. They just gonna get their ass cooked at that rate. Because he showed you he's shooting over guys to me. Like I think, and then an issue with me, I think not gonna say an issue, but I think the best benefit for him coming into the league, if they take him at 1, he going to play for Greg Popovich.
Yep.
He will get it done for him. That's why I'm not worried about him. Now, that's if he went to
might
Detroit,
average
I believe
25,
everything
30.
you said. You go to Charlotte, I believe everything you say, Danny. But he going to Greg Popovich, who they had all these stars. He know what he can do with him.
but I'm saying you think Greg Popovich is gonna have him running off screens and doing all of that same way in France?
Hell, yes, because he's different.
He turned DeMar into a 7 assist a game guy. Look at
we took somebody
every
who
other
didn't want to
season of
pass the
DeMar.
basketball
He
into a
turned
passer.
DeJounte Murray into a machine last year.
He was literally a
Pick and roll
he was
machine
a
monster.
20, 10, and 10
But
every
if
game.
you watch the clips, you don't take somebody. Greg Popovich is not a type of person who will take you away from your strengths. That's not him. You're not gonna take nobody, bro. He shot the ball at like a high 38%, like above 35% from 3 at France. Like there ain't no difference in that. He gonna scope that. He gonna lace that whole.
And you also have to think too, with the Euro rules, they're able to swipe it off
Yeah,
the basket.
off the basket.
He's gonna be able to not have that. You'll get more tip-ins. You'll get more those shots that rattling in, going actually in instead of getting tipped out.
Mhm.
I don't know. In my opinion, I see the skepticism, Danny, because I do agree with you. That would be my one downside to him is just the frame is real thin.
Mhm.
It would have been nice to see Chet this year so we can get a comparison to see how Chet would have handled it, because I do think the frame is similar, obviously another 3-4 inches on him, but
Mhm.
I just think that the pure skill and technical ability he's got already, it's just the moon, the sky's the limit, whatever the saying is. Sky's the limit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see the skeptic. Like I see your skepticism with him if he goes anywhere but San Antonio.
Exactly. Pop's gonna know
Okay.
where to put
Why?
him.
Because at that rate, he has to be the 5 for like Charlotte. He has to be the 5 for like
Well, they have Mark
Portland.
Williams.
But like even he can even
They
go
have
to if he
Nurkic.
fell to Portland. That's even dangerous for him if they kept Dame because now you putting
Dame,
Nurkic
Wembayama,
on, and he
Nurkic.
big and he
Yeah,
banging
right.
with guys. It's too
That
would
much.
be a
You can
crazy
play
fit,
Wemby
actually.
wherever you want at that rate. And to me, his size frame, depending on how you flipping and moving him, don't make a damn difference no more. If I'm moving him at the 3, the 4, and I got somebody on the floor that can take it for him, just like how we can have Trae Young and all of these guys.
Right. So for the second pick, then, are we feeling Scoot? I know I'm feeling Scoot, but
I would say so. I think with Charlotte, you got to go big guard, even though you're kind of you don't really have much on the wing, but you're probably more than likely going to bring back Miles Bridges back into the fold. You're not just going to let him walk or anything like that. You got Mark Williams at the center. Obviously, the 3 hole is probably where you got your spot at, but I think you got to solidify having LaMelo at the 1 and then having somebody else being able to bring up the ball and be a pure point, which Scoot can be, or to be, facilitated to. I think Scoot would fit that way better than a Brandon Miller. I think that you need somebody else to take the ball out of LaMelo's hands at that point, especially now within his career, got to kind of lower his usage rate a little bit, kind of becoming very injury prone, especially with his ankles, like we talked about before. But I think that's what you got to do. You got to find a way to take the ball out of his hands. I think Scoot's the answer for that.
I just think
And then
I think he's also too generational when it comes to just size and speed and physicality. Like he's fit and ready for the league right now.
That's an NBA
especially
body.
the 82 games. Yeah, 100%.
Statement.
And I ain't gonna lie,
He's ready for the NFL season. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's why. I'm leaving B Miller at this combo. I know I talked about him a little bit prior to this episode, but when you look at it, yes, you're right. Scoot fits better in Charlotte. Brandon Miller need to take his ass to Portland. I'll be honest with that. Take his ass to Portland because that'll fit better with Portland. They don't have no threes or no twos like that. Give them to Portland.
Shit, I mean, Portland to me is a wild card.
Portland should friggin' trade their whole team to get Wemby.
Well, I'm looking at it right. Like if they want to run it back and try to contend behind Dame, they're not picking anyone at 3 unless it's somebody for another team.
Maybe.
Right? Nope. That's the reality, right? Like you're not going to compete by drafting Brandon Miller in the 3rd and just adding him to this team as is.
I just think you getting somebody.
It'll be interesting.
I'm not gonna say something like craziness for him, but to get somebody who could at least put the ball in the cup a little bit and give you some size instead of rocking with who is it right now for them?
Dame, Simons, Grant, who I believe is a free agent. Grant is. They got Nurkic.
I think Grant got 1 more year. I think Nurkic is a free agent.
Because Grant been running the 4 for them a lot.
Yeah, he's been running the 4.
With Nurkic.
I don't even know.
But if you add him into that, that's just more length. I feel like if you I can add beside Jeremy Grant while I also still got Nurkic. Then I still have guys like a Dame. I still got Simons, who I think struggled a little bit this year as well. I add that length, but also can add another guy who can legit probably create a little bit on his own. Might not be consistent.
For the 3, I don't really think they had anybody. They were kind of in and out with like just random players. I don't know the names.
Cam Reddish played there. Josh Hart played there. They had Tybull come in play there. Winslow played some 3-4 while Grant played some 3-4.
Yeah, these ain't guys who like, to be honest, outside of Cam, who no coach would give him a chance. I don't think any of these guys are like that to me. Like a Brandon Miller coming out of school.
It'll be interesting.
Brandon Miller at the 4 and allow Jeremy Grant to be a 3.
3,
maybe.
Yeah, see, I see.
But it'll be interesting though with the rumor mill to see, because really there's no quote unquote star available, but is there someone worthy of? Like, I'll take the number 3 pick for
and
like let's say a Bradley Beal or something like that.
If they're gonna try and compete now, depending on what they go for, you can see them trading it to get somebody who plugs in right away, has NBA experience.
Yeah, because you're not gonna like if their goal is to try to build a championship team around Dame, a 3rd pick, unless you're going, talking about 3 generational prospects in one draft. You're not looking at a 3rd pick being that difference. Yeah, he's not making that difference from you being. Obviously, when healthy, they were, fighting for those last playoff spots. He's not going to be that jump that puts you into that top 4, 3 in the conference and make the playoff run. Yeah. So I think, they're likely to trade their pick or trade half their roster and add the pick to it. But I think they're going to be important to watch now too. Them in Toronto, I think, kind of hold all the keys to the offseason.
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
I was about to say I could see a trade with Toronto and Portland.
Pascal.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Nuts. But let's go into the just something quick. Talk about an expansion team.
Seattle,
really? I was gonna go Vegas.
I'm saying I'm with Vegas too. I like Vegas more than Seattle at this point.
They've been constantly adding things.
You cannot add one team. You do
there would be 2.
That would be a classic case of add both those teams in the West and bring one of the Western Conference teams back, whether it be Memphis or Minnesota. I think Minnesota and Memphis and New Orleans are the 3 that could be moving to the East.
Well, I think Memphis would technically be closer.
Yeah, but I think
we're looking based off of it, location-wise.
Yeah, but I think they're more sold on moving.
Nah, keep them in the West.
Yeah, keep them in the West. They're fine in the West. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, keep them in the West just to keep it.
No, I would say obviously first choice. I would say Vegas. I think Vegas is slowly but surely becoming that hub, that sports hub. That
deserves it, man.
I know Seattle deserves it.
The Knights, the Aces, they're about to get the Athletics.
Yeah. And last thing you need is an NBA team.
Right.
Yeah, Seattle Kraken. Seattle Kraken.
No, they just lost. They lost yesterday.
I don't
to the
care.
Stars
Yeah, they
in
did.
That's a
Game
great
7.
team
2-1.
name. Add the Supersonics. Bring my team back.
The jersey concept
Team
probably.
back.
I like
The
it.
jersey concept
Bring back
probably.
my
But
GP.
yeah, we'll
Bring
have
my
to see.
Sonics back, Joe.
Think about how nice a
Two
team in
Seattles and two
Seattle
others.
with a nice green and yellow jersey.
Man, I don't want to go to no game where it's raining all the time.
That's what I'm saying.
I ain't trying to go to the motherfucking Vegas game where everybody just gonna be wearing black and gold all their damn life. I want my green and gold back.
Who says they're gonna be black and
Nope.
gold?
Who says they're going to be the Super
I think it's
Sonics
gonna be
again?
black and gold. It's got to fit the rest of them. I feel like.
Yeah.
No, it ain't gonna fit with the Aces like that. Come on now. The Bulls don't have that with the Sky.
Yeah, but they have
Well,
the golden
Chicago
knights
sucks
and
at all
golden-
sports right
They
now.
have
Me.
gold and black. They got the A's are going to be coming in with
That's
their
tough and accurate.
classic green and yellow.
It's painful.
Maybe.
Actually. It's painful.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see. But yeah,
I
I go
need
with
to,
Vegas.
I just like.
I'll be
I
honest.
like
I'm ready to
history.
sign off
Bring my
after Isaac said that.
Yeah, same.
Well,
Unreal.
Chicago sports suck right now.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not wrong.
So it's bad. It's really
Hey,
bad.
the Blackhawks just got like a generational prospect. So
Not yet. They still have to draft him.
Well,
But
And
yes,
the Bears
Connor
are looking
Bedard.
all right. The Bears are looking all right. But we'll see.
not as
All
already.
right.
I think.
For the
All right,
last
make y'all
two,
sad.
You
for the
go.
last two, you want me to go first?
I mean,
I mean, is yours really? How confident are you in yours right now?
I think yours will be better. You usually do a little better.
Ah, man.
So
Okay,
I
well,
want you to have to one up me.
like said it. Okay. Well, I changed this up a little bit, and we're gonna do the greatest duos of I believe of all time as a start
Ooh.
bench cut.
Oh, okay. Let me go first then, because
Yours just gonna be lit.
So
Okay,
yeah.
let me go first. Okay, I got a would you rather. So we got two segments for today. We said we are gonna bring a little bit of the heat for episode 50, bringing back some of the fun segments. I'm coming with a would you rather. We did a start bench cut this year, last week. Danny, I'm really excited for that. I can't.
Yeah.
I'm really excited. But we got a would you rather. So my would you rather player is going to be, drum roll please. Anybody? Jalen Brunson.
Oh.
Oh my
Ooh,
God! Is this 'cause I got cooked online? I got cooked online for this. Come on,
Welcome to
come
the
on.
gang group. Yeah, sometimes them
Got my
comments
ass
are ruthless.
cooked.
All right, so I'm gonna go first one here. Would you rather Jalen Brunson edition? Let's go. I got a decent amount of names, so we'll try to go decently quick. I'm gonna start off. I'll start off decently spicy. Would you rather Jalen Brunson or SGA?
SGA.
That's unfair. SGA, Joe. Shorty
After
a
what
bucket.
Jalen just did? After what Jalen just did?
SGA a fucking bucket, dog.
If it was
That was
SGA
quick.
on the Knicks, they're not. They're pulling it out at
No,
least.
I'm going with
Oh, he's doing everything Brunson did on offense and being better defensively.
And losing?
They're
You can't tell me that the Knicks are a great team.
No, they're not. But they would have done better
But
than.
I mean, the Thunder ain't no better on paper.
Yeah, that's my point.
yeah, I'm
taking SGA.
going Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson.
I probably
Take
would have gone
SGA.
Jalen as well. Close,
Yeah,
but I probably
it
would have
is.
gone Jalen as well.
Yeah.
Jalen Brunson or De'Aaron Fox?
Fox.
Jalen Brunson.
Wow,
Fox.
Isaac.
Fox.
Don't let
I
the
don't like
comments
the-
get to you.
Fox. It's not even the comments. These are like two guys I think are better than him right now.
I would have probably went Jalen as well.
After this
Well,
playoff run, he showed me a lot more than
That's called
De'Aaron
recency
did.
bias.
Eh.
Yeah, this
So,
is that's
no. If we got a host on here who's gonna remain anonymous that went recency bias and playoff bias and matchup bias these last 2-3 weeks. So I'll go with the recency bias. Let's say Jalen.
Come on, Ho.
Oh, I said Darren.
Ugh, I'm surprised you don't like him.
I
Hey,
don't.
I'm mad. Me and B didn't agree on two people.
Would you rather have Jalen Brunson or Donovan Mitchell?
Jalen Brunson.
Jalen Brunson.
Okay, what about Darius Garland?
Jalen Brunson.
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 Good choice. Danny, I like you right now.
Yeah.
Okay. Would you rather have Jalen Brunson or Kyrie Irving?
Oh man.
Kyrie.
Yeah.
I might be taking Brunson just so I can guarantee that he won't talk his way off the court.
I'm talking about players.
Kyrie.
On the court.
Kyrie.
But
Still
on the
most
court,
skilled.
Kyrie. But
See, I think
I'm
to me,
actually
look,
I'm actually gonna take
Overall,
I'm actually gonna take Jalen Brunson over Kyrie Irving at this moment. I will.
Interesting.
I'm taking
Because
Kyrie if we're just talking
basically
about better
you're
player on
showing
the
me
board.
throughout, but because I'm not even going just based off a better player. Talent wise, I know Kyrie is one of the best ball handlers to ever touch an NBA court, but the way that Jalen Brunson has ascended, now will he be a superstar like Kyrie? I don't believe so. That's yet to be seen. But
Really?
I will take
And she said
Jalen's.
Kyrie.
No, I will take Jalen Brunson over Kyrie Irving because Jalen Brunson is a better defender and has proven to score 40 points at will.
I was gonna say, Danny, I think he's actually ascending close to superstardom. I think having gone to the mecca of basketball in Madison Square Garden,
I like
having
that we call it that.
I know
it's a
it's just
blasphemy
that's just what it
itself.
is. But
End of the day.
he's
Oh,
led that
God.
team back to the forefront.
Relevancy.
Yeah. And been their best player. He has, like you said, scored 40. He showed up in big games. So I think he's close. I think next season will be big for him.
Yep.
I probably still would have said Kyrie though.
And
I like Kyrie. But that's just my own bias. Would you rather have Jalen Brunson or Trae Young?
Jalen Brunson.
Jalen. Come on, man. Jalen.
Now keep in mind, Trae Young is a 28-10 guy.
I don't care.
He had
In a bad year.
He was 20, yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Still taking the guy who still led his team though.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Trae Young on his
Oh, I
best
mean,
years is 30
I like
11.
I like defense. You gotta play defense for me. I like defense.
Didn't you pick Brunson over Shai? No, you picked Shai, right?
No, Danny picked
No, I
Brunson.
picked
No, he
Brunson.
picked Brunson the first three.
He's
Yeah.
picked Brunson for everybody.
Yep.
Yeah, that's not. Yeah, I know.
You say you like defense?
And then he picked Brunson over SGA, but it's okay. We can let it go.
I mean, at this point, Brunson deserved to be an all-star, and he deserved to be an all-NBA player, in my opinion. He should have been on there
I
regardless.
agree.
All NBA?
Oh, yeah.
So?
I would say so.
Over who?
The
Over
position, the
who?
positions make it tough.
Yes.
I think
but
the
still
positions
over
make it tough.
who?
Well, I would say this. A lot of people are saying that Donovan Mitchell deserved to make all NBA over SGA. I would not have a problem with putting Jalen Brunson over Donovan Mitchell to take any guard spot.
Definitely not SGA. though.
I don't think we understand. I mean, I think we lose an SGA impact.
Oh, that
I'm
team
not losing
wins-
his
that
impact.
team
I
wins
didn't put
7
Jalen.
games.
I didn't put Jalen over him on for first team All NBA. But I would say the conversation should have been Jalen Brunson being on an All NBA team versus
Okay, I see what you
over
mean.
Donovan Mitchell.
Mitchell had a
I
better
thought that's
regular
what you
season.
meant. Like we
And
take
that's what-
Donovan Mitchell over.
But I think that's
SGA.
where we're also talking about as a would you rather is
Yeah.
like I'm not talking just regular season because there's regular season players and there's
Well, yeah, and that's
there's
why
playoff
I'm referring to
performers.
the All NBA team. Mitchell deservedly ahead of Brunson, in my opinion. He had a much better year as in the regular season. If their playoff runs,
Right,
differ.
and that's where
That's
it's you
and that's where
personally.
the would
where
you
do
rather?
you
I
where
took
do you
Brunson
favor?
over Mitchell in the would you rather, but I'm saying Brunson had no shot at sniffing an All NBA team. this
Okay.
year.
I think he
that's-
could have been in conversation, and I'm sure he was in some conversations.
Mhm.
Okay, so I'm gonna go to my next one. We all picked Brunson, right?
Yeah.
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 You guys all
That was
did.
Trey,
I
right?
probably would have picked him. Yeah, I don't know. I tried to play devil's advocate because I do think
I mean, I don't hate
Trey
Trey
in
as
his
much
best
as
year
everyone
is
else.
pretty impressive, but
Yeah.
and he has performed in playoffs. So even this year he had some good years. But
Did he
we'll
win a
go to-
series?
He did not, but touche.
He did play the Celtics.
He played the
too.
Celtics though.
Yeah.
Would you rather have Jalen Brunson or Ja Morant?
Good time.
That's a good one, bro.
Exactly. Exactly.
If you had asked me this last week,
I'm talking about
I'm not
as a
hesitating.
player. I'm talking about as a player.
I mean,
Oh no, that's tough.
because like
I'm talking
Ja,
about as a player. I even got Danny on this one, and
Ja
Danny's
being-
on a Brunson sweep right now.
Ja being younger and like it's like he's better at what he does than Brunson is.
Josh-
Brunson's just got a
Josh
better
only 3
all
years
around game.
Or well, no, because
Well-
spent 2 years in college.
Well-
Brunson spent 4.
I'm
I think
going
he's
Brunson,
4
so
or
I think
5.
he a better scorer. Way
Yeah.
better scorer.
I'm
Ja
going,
just explosive to me.
I'm going with Jalen as well because I believe that his game is actually more versatile than Ja's, in my opinion.
That's the point.
Like, if we had,
Ja's
like,
better
put
at what
Ja-
he does. But,
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think if you put Ja in Jalen's situation, the Knicks don't get better.
I mean, they get
I agree.
better.
I don't
But
think they do. I
are
don't
you
think they
saying
get
better than they are with Brunson?
Yeah.
No, like if it was like Ja
If
and
it-
like
instead of
Julius
flipping?
Randle at the top two, like
Oh.
you flip both of them. I don't think that
Yeah.
works.
No, they do not. They definitely don't.
They're not making the same playoff run, but I think regular season wise, they would have been the same.
Do
if
the
not
same
better.
thing, but the playoff is not going to be no
Yeah.
deeper. I think even Memphis would make a deeper run with Brunson at the guard just because he's
I
going to
would
be
agree.
playing with his team.
That's a
and he be
hot take
closing
right
the
there.
game.
I think that's accurate though,
I would say so. I agree 100%.
because that gives them the
Yeah,
level
let's
of
see.
maturity and the level of grit and grind. But yet, that's in your star.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So
Like that.
that is a hot take though.
I like that.
So y'all going Brunson?
Yep.
I'm going Jalen as well.
Man.
I got a few more. We're gonna go. I got a couple ones. I'm curious. Would either of you take Jalen Brunson over Steph or Luka?
No.
No.
No, we just leave that alone. No.
Would you agree that Jalen Brunson is the best small guard in the league behind Steph Curry?
Who else is small?
Well,
Yeah, what's considered small?
Bro. He's like Jalen Brunson's like 6'3". I'm talking about small.
I say
I'm not
so.
talking about like SGA's like 6'6".
Yeah.
Luka's like 6'7", 6'8".
So
That's
Jalen
Kyrie.
Well,
Brunson's
Luka's a
6'1".
fucking small
Right.
forward.
That's why
To me, Luka's
I'm talking about a
6'3".
small guards. Kyrie's like 6'3".
But yeah, I would say
Dame
I
over
would
him.
say
Yeah.
that oh Dame. Yeah.
Because Steph's 6'3", Dame's 6'2". I would take both of them over Jalen.
Yeah, I take those two.
But
guys.
I would definitely say Jalen has put himself into the top 3 conversation of point guards in the league right now.
Yeah,
I'd probably have him over Dame.
Oh.
I don't know.
Dame don't be playing. When is the last time Dame's played an important game in his career? It's
That's
been
true.
like 4 years.
That's true. That was since college, actually. When he
That's what I'm saying. Everyone always talks about like they don't put him in the right situation, but like I don't know. He's Dame's a superstar. Fuck it. That he's last on the list. Would you rather have Jalen Brunson or Damian Lillard?
I'd take Dame.
I'm taking Jalen.
Oof.
I've always been a Dame hater. Because you don't win nothing. You don't win nothing. He's in my Chris Paul category. He's in my Chris Paul category.
No, see, I feel no.
Yep.
Everybody done got their ass
Clip
waxed
this,
by
Danny.
Golden State. I just think what it proves is that no guard can lead a team against Golden State. That's what I think. Not a guard in hell can lead them. Any guard, James Harden, shooting guard, point guard.
You
not
can't lead him in the
beating
regular
Golden-
season.
leading
I'm
the
talking about a
Golden
regular
State.
season. You can't even lead him to a playoff appearance.
No, Dame was
Damian
out
Lillard?
once
In the
again.
years he's been healthy.
He's
He's
healthy,
led them
he's
to
got him to the
playoff series
playoffs.
and won them playoff series on his own.
Right, but it's been forever.
It was like
4 years.
2 years ago.
4.
No, it got
Paul George was in OKC. And this is his 3rd year. So it's been 3
Didn't they
years,
make it
4
after that?
seasons. And lost in the first round.
Yeah, they made it. At least they made the playoffs. I'll take that. I just
Bro,
don't
but
think he has
that's
a
what
team
I'm
around
saying.
him.
Jalen Brunson's consistently making the playoffs.
But he had Luka,
Right.
and then he did it with no. I don't know. I'm still sticking Dame. I can't let
He
you.
did it with
turn my
who?
head.
Who did he do it with? In New York. Don't even tell me Julius Randle. Don't
He
give me
did.
that.
Not the regular season.
Julius
Yeah, he
Randle's a
got
better
them
number
too.
2 than anyone Dame has played with since LaMarcus.
I would say CJ.
Well, since CJ,
CJ is
CJ,
much better than Julius Randle.
CJ was a great 2 for him.
At least
It's
you knew
just-
you was getting
In a-
18 to 20.
In a vacuum,
I didn't know what the
in a
hell you
vacuum,
getting from Julius Randle on a game.
But I think as a co-star to Dame, I would rather have Julius Randle
Bro,
than
Julius Randle just
CJ.
averaged about 15 points per game in the playoffs.
Yeah.
It had to be less than that.
and where was
It had
CJ
to
in
be
the
like
playoffs?
13.
Well, he was like almost second to last in almost every major category.
It
So
had to be like 13 points this playoffs.
He
I don't
was-
even know if he touched 20.
Hey,
He had 20.
hey, I
in the
like
game,
how
And
Danny
he had
just
one
slid that in there. You know,
game,
you
For a
set
guy who
the
averages
last.
like 26.
He had 25 in the regular season.
What are you talking about? Bro, I'm sorry. Dame, I love him, but
They made the
he
playoffs
gets so
in
much
20.
Hey,
hype.
I hope y'all cook him.
He
like
gets so
y'all
much
cooked
hype.
me
He
last
gets
year.
so much hype for somebody who's done nothing. I don't understand. What has he won? What has he won?
Bro, he made it to the second round.
What did he win?
Two. What? Brunson didn't win anything.
Right, but Brunson's in an earlier stage of his career. He still has a chance to win something.
I revisit
Because
this next
Brunson
season.
got up and left.
Like, here's the thing.
If Dame had got up and left, he'd be looking at two-time champion at Dame Lillard. But instead,
Right, but Brunson also left to be the guy.
Dame's been
Dame's been the guy.
Yeah.
And can't win jack nothing.
Check.
Because look who bro, his teams wasn't good enough to beat these teams.
I don't know. I got some friends up in this group chat 4 years in college that thought the Blazers have been the best team in the league for 4 years.
They were drunk.
We were really high on the Blazers.
And I was the only
drinking.
motherfucker that was like, y'all are
They were
tripping.
That's what happens when you go to
They had to
Wisconsin
be
and you realize
drinking.
they're disconnected from the rest of the world.
We're all from Illinois.
Yeah.
They were in
No,
Wisconsin,
they had
they
to
were
be
in Wisconsin for
drinking.
college. That's all it takes.
Well, anyways, I don't know
Nope.
what that means.
They had to be drinking, bro.
No one's ever been like,
Oh shit, we were in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
That's what they're good at.
I'll tweak it.
All right, last one. Would you rather have Jalen Brunson or Jamal Murray?
Brunson. Oh no, man! I don't like this.
Yeah,
Jamal's-
I'll take
Jamal's in
Jalen.
such a good situation with Jokic.
Danny, I like the way you
That's
think.
what I'm saying.
Going with
But
him.
Murray showed you he can do it on his own too, though.
When?
When? What?
When?
I
When
like
has
the
he ever
one-on-one
been on the
situation.
court without Jokic?
Time out. I like the one-on-one situations for Murray. Okay, that shows me you can do it on your own. Okay, that's how I think about it. He could score with the ball.
That
But averaging
run
like
was
17 on the road.
So
This
what?
playoff
What
series?
does Jamal do better than Jalen?
Shoot the ball for starters.
Not really. Did you see this
You
past
do shoot
series?
the three better.
Did you see this
actually
past
is.
series though?
Oh my god.
Oh.
One series don't mean jack shit, bro. All year Jamal was a way better shooter. You can't tell me, because Jalen was really
I'm
good
just
this
saying,
series.
but I'm just saying way better is
No,
what?
what?
Yeah,
Way better.
If you had
I
to-
don't say Jamal is way better than Jalen.
Way better is like
That's
Steph
I ain't
Curry.
saying all
versus-
that. Now, I
That's
think
the
they
goat
man
shooter
almost
versus-
up there, but I still
Right,
give
that's
Murray.
way. That's
Yeah.
way.
Just saying.
I got a slight edge to Murray.
Jalen Brunson.
All I'm gonna say.
I'm taking Jalen as well.
I'm
I think he's
probably
more of a
taking Jalen,
leader.
But
He does more for an entire
if
team.
you're Denver right now, you want Jamal, not Jalen.
Well, yeah, because you already have Jokic.
Yeah,
I'm not. That's not what the fuck the question is.
I know, but there's certain situations where I would rather have Murray.
What the fuck
You
is
need a
that?
better off ball.
No, shut up. Who would you rather have? I'm not. Don't just vacuum it to Denver.
What?
So saying that if I'm looking for an on-ball
Oh
guy, I need
my
Jalen.
god, pick a.
I did pick
freaking side.
Jalen. I already picked.
Thank
Jalen.
you.
There you
Don't,
go.
the rest is
I'm
unneeded.
gonna stay Jamal. I'm staying Jamal.
That's bold.
All right.
Okay, that bold.
All right.
I would say it's fairly bold.
Hey, I hope y'all are ready for it.
Is that bold?
Bring it on, Danny, because I feel like I.
Yeah, come on, Dan. Get us
All right.
off of this.
So
Come
I
on,
got
start
I
bench
got-
cut. Come on.
I got two. Okay, we're gonna do
I'm
two.
ready to get on the other side of this. Let's
We're gonna
go.
do two of them back to back. So depending on who the majority of these picks, I'll say at least out of us
Oh,
four, if there's a,
spit it out. Come on. Let's
if
go.
there's a three, if there's a 3 out of 4 on a certain pair, then
Uh-huh.
we'll move on to the next one that I'm gonna name. So we're going 2 in a row here. So for the first, we'll start bench cut. We're gonna do greatest duos. We're gonna have MJ and Scotty.
Okay.
You're gonna have Kobe. You're gonna have Kobe and Shaq,
Damn, you put these all in one group.
and then you're gonna have KD and Steph.
And so only one can move on.
No, just a regular
Start
one.
bench cut.
Yeah.
So
So start bench cut of MJ and Scotty, Kobe and Shaq, and then Steph and KD.
I'm ready.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. This is self-explanatory to me. I got mine together already.
I'm ready whenever.
ready.
I'm gonna go
All right, I'm
start
starting.
Shaq and Kobe. That's me in my opinion. And then I'm benching Mike and Pippen. And then I'm getting rid of Steph and KD.
See, we're on the same page. I'm just gonna start Mike and Pippen. I'm gonna bench Kobe and Shaq. And then
They're
I'm gonna
losing.
cut.
I guarantee you those two are losing to Shaq and Kobe though.
Now, for right now, I ain't thinking about all that. I'm thinking about 6 to 3. 6 rings, 3 rings. 6.
Yeah, but you're also talking about 9 to 10 years together versus 5 years together, 6 years together.
2 niggas that barely liked each other, 6 rings, and 2 niggas who really didn't like each other.
Whoa,
10
whoa,
rings.
whoa,
Whoa.
whoa,
To
We
what?
said it. Hey, we said explicit.
To
whoa.
But Danny, you gonna have to edit that one.
bro.
Hey, I apologize. I'm sorry. It came out. Hey, I'm
He
sorry.
points to his arm. But I'm telling you, I'm taking Shaq Kobe any day. That's my opinion.
So go.
I'm with I do get your argument because Shaq, but
I was about to say
as a
prime
duo,
Shaq in LA.
give me Mike and Scotty.
But you see and with you saying as a duo makes me think you'd be more on my side. As we're talking about as a duo impacting a whole team, I would think be on your side. But as like just two players, those two didn't.
Well,
they played so much.
I'm on the success side
Bro,
of this thing. I get the
couldn't
Shaq
think of
dominance,
Shaq
like
when
no
he
one's
told
shot.
Kobe to eat a dick.
What does that even matter?
That's
When they went on the court, they put everything aside and
I mean, hey,
destroyed people.
Michael Jordan punched Steve Kerr in the face.
Yeah.
They won a
6
championship
rings.
together.
They got 6.
I guarantee, yeah, but the whole argument that has started the
I ain't
whole
hear Scotty
thing
say I
about
got more.
Kobe and Shaq was that if they would have stayed together, they would have
Yeah.
had 6.
I don't
But
think
they
they would have
broke
stayed
up.
together. Too much ego.
All right. So
What do you mean?
Steve,
That already happened. Way
So
to
Steve, go-
read the future, man.
go through it for me again for yours, and then V, and then I for me real quick.
I'm going start Shaq and Kobe. I'm benching Mike and Pip, and I'm getting rid of Steph and KD.
Oh,
Unfortunately.
all right. I'm actually. So for me, I was actually gonna go the same thing as you. I'm starting Kobe and Shaq,
Thank you, bro. Danny, we vibing today.
and I'm benching Mike and Scotty, and then I'm gonna cut Steph and KD.
At least we all
The
in
cut was
agreement
really
about cutting KD and
Yeah.
Steph.
The
Yeah.
cut was really easy this time around.
Although I'll tell you, if both of them is hot from 35 feet, they're probably beating the other two. I'll tell you that though.
And then V, who do you have again? I'm sorry.
I had same as Isaac. I had MJ and Pip starting,
No.
Kobe and Shaq off the bench, and the Warriors duo cut.
Look at the Warriors duo.
All right.
All right, Danny, you got another one or what?
Yeah. So the second one I was gonna go with, which I think I don't know, it's a little spicy. So we got start bench cut, the duo of LeBron and Kyrie. We're gonna move on. We'll move on Kobe and Shaq.
Oh, no. It's tough.
We'll move on Kobe and Shaq. And then I'm gonna throw a little old school in there, Magic and Kareem.
Hey, I don't want to play this no more.
I
So you
think
said
I've made my cut.
Ron and
I
Reed.
think I've got it.
You got start bench cut.
I
We
feel
got
like I might go the exact same route I went in the first one.
I think I've got it.
Man, you pulling at my heartstrings though. I really love the LeBron and Kyrie duo, even though I was rooting against them.
That's tough.
Yeah.
It's tough.
In hindsight,
I know who I'm starting.
See, I know who I'm cutting. It's the start bench that I'm a little bit torn on, but
I know who I'm starting. It's
Man,
benching and
Kareem
cutting.
was old. Kareem was old. That hook shot was unguardable.
Yeah.
And when you had the Magic Man himself,
Because for me, I'm gonna go with again. We'll go Kobe Bean Bryant and Shaquille O'Neal to start.
it's untouchable. I honestly think that might be the best of all time.
The bench, I'm actually gonna go with Magic and Kareem, and I'm cutting Kyrie and LeBron.
yeah, that's what I had. I had a little bit of an internal debate about starting Magic and Kareem,
Oh,
but no.
all right. Well, I'm sticking the same as Danny.
So so far the three of us are on the same page.
No.
I'm going Kobe and Shaq is just probably the best duo of all time.
I got mine. I'm starting Kobe and Shaq.
Good man.
We're gonna bench LeBron and Kyrie, but I'm gonna cut Magic and Kareem.
Hey, I ain't mad about that. That was my conundrum.
Yeah, I feel like that's a toss up there.
I really wanted to
Yeah.
start LeBron and Kyrie, but
But it's Kobe and Shaq in this list. I can't do that.
that's untouchable.
Okay. Yeah,
Oh, y'all made me sick in that first round though.
want to just say, do a little something different, Let's get some duos in there,
The duos is nice. We should go dynasties next.
Never know. We might go big
Not
three.
that there's too
Who
many,
knows?
but
Might go big three.
Big three,
The
start bench
Celtics?
cut. I'm taking Boston over everybody.
that's what I'm saying. Wait, which one? You talking about 08 though?
Yes.
Oh, okay, that's fair.
Never
I'm
know.
taking them.
I was talking about Marcus Smart's a part of the big three.
I know. That's why I thought you.
Oh, yes. Yes. Taking that too.
All right, let's get out to the MLB before we.
Last subject, just for some kind of change of pace here. We've been talking a lot about NBA the last few weeks, but we're just gonna do some quick early season MVP and Cy Young, AL or NL.
To start, let's go with the NL.
NL. All right. Well, should we all just in unison go Cy Young? Let's go MVP. I'm curious to see if how much baseball you guys have been watching.
Oh,
Danielson?
NL, you said NL.
NL MVP early season.
Oh,
Don't be looking at no lists. I know
I
y'all
had it
looking
up.
at your lists.
I had it up.
I got mine.
I got mine up already.
Just teams.
For me, I'm going.
There's a few answers actually for
I have,
NL.
yeah, I mean, I have one answer. That was the initial.
I'm
when I
going
first saw the chat.
Acuna right now for NL MVP.
Okay. Is that your answer?
That
too?
was my answer. Yeah,
Who's your second?
Wait, who you
answer?
say?
my second answer.
Do you not have one?
I mean, I kind of have one. I don't think it's an MVP, but it's more of an NBA MVP than a baseball MVP.
Best player on the best team?
Well, best performing player on the best team, in my opinion, right now. And that would be Max Muncy for the Dodgers.
Oof.
Been absolutely crushing it, and this
I
team
like
is
that. I like
hot
that.
as almighty hell.
I like that pick.
That's a good one.
I also had Acuna.
Yeah,
I think
Acuna
that
was
he's
Yeah.
100%.
Nolan's also trying to gun for it right now.
Yeah, he's bouncing back, but he had a really rough start the first
Yeah.
couple weeks.
He's hit four home runs in four back-to-back games, and he's still hitting like 270.
He started hot and then he died off and now he's coming back.
Yeah.
Because he was over 300 and then he jumped down below like 260 or 70.
Yeah, he was.
I
at
think he's back to
268
like
before the
290
game
or
today.
something, or with the hits today, he's probably at 280,
I'll check right
270. It
Yep.
goes up and down so much early.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, my other one would be Luis Arise.
Oof, yeah.
Yeah.
He's had a
Yeah.
little bit of a rough patch, but he was hitting. I think he's finally under 400
He's like, yeah,
because he had like an over
he had a
11 or
couple-
12 streak.
yeah,
But then he had a couple hits yesterday, and I think he had a hit 2 today.
386 before today's game, I guess.
But yeah, he would be probably my second or third.
His
Okay.
OBP is really low for a guy hitting 386.
He doesn't walk though,
No, you know,
which is crazy
442.
because he's got a really good eye. But the Marlins are.
Yeah, I got Acuna for the NL.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah,
He 100%.
dude,
Yeah.
he's so good.
He's unbelievable.
Coming off a torn ACL too.
Yeah. Well, that was
Yeah.
2 years ago.
Yeah. But he's last season he was definitely not himself.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, what about Cy Young? National League Cy Young. Don't say it yet. Damn it.
No, go ahead. Go first.
Let Danny say it.
No, go ahead. Go.
Darn it. Can I go first then?
Are you gonna steal my guy that I said before we
Everyone's
started?
gonna say it.
I don't think they'll say it. That's what we've
Oh. Well then I want you all to go first.
yeah,
I'm curious.
we agree on the same guy, and I brought him up before we started recording. So
Go ahead.
Oh.
You go, Danny.
Me?
Well, somebody flip
Yeah.
a coin. Damn
I'm
it.
going. I'm actually gonna go with Zach Gallen, Arizona.
Fair enough.
Mm.
I'm gonna go
That-
football then.
that was
No
my
pun-
that was
No
the one
pun
I had.
intended.
He's been incredible.
Thanks.
So
He's-
good.
What's his WAR right now?
Let me pull it up for you.
So I'm pretty sure it's pretty stupid. He's only been in the league for 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, I think he's got 6 wins under his belt now.
Just click on his stats.
He's at 1.7 right now.
Through 40 games.
Yeah, and
That's
as a pitcher,
insane.
it's only 9 starts.
Yeah, and that's on pace for multiply that by 4. That's almost a 6. That is a 6, isn't it?
That's more than 6. Yeah, it's gonna
Still in the
6.8.
NL?
That's a ridiculous WAR. Yeah, NL MVP or NL Cy Young.
2.35 ERA,
I think I'm
0.85 whip.
I'm gonna take Spencer Strider since he's leading the league. He's leading the
I like
MLB in
that.
That's a
strikeout.
good one.
That would be my third.
The mustache has been
But I'll go with my second. I think Kershaw's got a good chance to
yeah.
and it's kind of crazy because they're down oh no, Gonsolin came back. He's done a few starts. Walker Bueller's still out. Arias has kind of been their man. Dustin May's come back. So they're kind of getting healthier, which is probably coinciding with their run.
Mm-hmm.
But Kershaw's been pretty incredible, and that's for his standards as well.
Yeah, 2.49 ERA.
That's why I said it was throwing a curveball.
Yeah.
0.95
But
whip.
that was pretty good. No, but in all seriousness, Zach Allen is current head and shoulders. Hey, disappointment though. Sandy's been kind of disappointing.
Sandy has been disappointing.
He came down to
Sandy's
earth.
been
That's for
fairly
sure.
disappointing. Who's the other one I had? Oh, I think the Cubs Stroman's a pretty good shout too. Stroman's been
Justin Steele.
Justin Steele, Drew
Steele, yeah.
Smiley, and Marcus Stroman have all pitching like freaking animals.
What is
But
that,
Yeah.
Stroman's been pretty insane in my opinion.
Yeah, he's just not getting the run support.
No,
It seems like every time he's pitching, they
I
just
like the
forget
other
how to
guys.
play baseball.
but let's go to AL MVP.
Is this?
Shohei.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Not Shohei.
Yeah, I'm still with Shohei.
I was gonna throw another curveball.
Yeah, I mean, just to not say Shohei, I'm going to go with the guy that I mentioned the other week, Mr. Randy Arozarena.
Good shout.
Been
He's my third.
he's been so good for that team.
I'm
That
gonna
team.
go with your favorite player, Matthew Chapman,
Oh
from the
God,
Toronto Blue Jays.
bro, I can't stand
He's
it.
another player that's hitting around. Like
Actually, I had my second pick was Bo Bichetti.
Bo Bichette. You could honestly pick go in a bag and pick a Jays or
Yeah.
a Jays or a Rays player.
As long as you're not me,
Because I would also argue with Wander Franco as well.
Yeah.
I think it's just that he's been down relative to some of the other guys. Obviously they've got like 5 guys hitting 300 or better. So when you're
His
hitting,
batting average is better than Randy's.
not last time I checked, he was under 300 and Randy was over.
Yeah.
But yeah,
And if I was taking the
that
Rays,
team in
yeah.
general.
Randy, Scrandy. He'll come back down to earth.
If I was going for a raise, I'm taking Yandy.
Yandy Diaz. Yeah, my guy.
He left injured.
He is.
over
He
on
pulled his
weekend, right?
hamstring a couple days ago.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah. So Wander went 0 for 4,
Hamstring
bringing him
strain,
down
I
to
should say.
293, and Brandy went
But
0 for
Yandy
4.
Diaz would definitely be
Yeah.
a very good shout.
Dude,
He was going wild.
Ramirez has been so good for them too.
That's what I'm
Mhm.
saying. It's a
It's-
freaking mixed bag. You
Yeah.
just reach in and
I mean, today they had freaking Paredes go for 2 home runs. Brought him out of PSG and
Also to just an update, Lakers are down by 8
oh, they've stormed back.
minutes
I'm
left.
glad
It was looking
glad this
ugly.
is working.
So,
But Cy Young, this is probably the one that has the most possible debate.
Cy Young, well, pipe dream, even though it's probably not going to be him, Felix Bautista of the Baltimore.
Yes.
Ooh.
1.42 ERA. But probably starting pitcher is more than likely going to win it. I'm going to go with Sonny Gray. Really having a bounce back year, actually.
Ballsy
Yeah,
to keep
Sonny
it up
Gray.
all year.
I don't know. It's tough. He always has one of those rough stretches. We know he's a good pitcher, especially going back from his athletic days.
Yeah, he was very good his last year in Oakland and
Yeah.
his first year in Cincinnati.
Yeah. So I think he has a really good chance if he could keep it up. Probably like if he can keep it around a 2. I don't think a 1.36 is going to be sustainable for him, but if he can keep it around a 2, still get the wins, I think he'll be fine. I think he has a good chance to win.
And they've got a decent 1-2 punch with Pablo Lopez and
Mhm.
Sonny Gray. But yeah, Sonny Gray's been actually like a revelation.
Yeah.
I had a different win than you.
Let me hear it.
I had Joe Ryan.
Oh,
Oh,
isn't that another
6-1.
twin?
yes.
Yep.
Yeah, 6-1, 2.16 ERA.
Why do they suck?
Because their offenses, they've got like nobody hitting over like.
Yeah, now their
270
offense
right
is
now.
bad. Where their offense is good and they had bad pitching, now they have great pitching and their offense is bad.
They still have a mid bullpen, but their starters have been pretty good.
This one's tough because I feel like
Really?
yeah, there's a few guys who I like in the top of the AL. You have your
Yeah, I like Garrett Cole right now,
he was one of my guys.
but he had a half decent mid start his last time out.
Mhm.
But he also faced the Blue Jays.
I even like Shane McCallahan.
That was gonna say
Shane
McClanahan. Another one.
McClanahan.
Whatever Irish clan he's from or Scottish clan he's from.
Yeah, I mean those were my top 2, but I really
Okay.
also like Eduardo Rodriguez.
Yeah,
I don't know if he can
Boy,
keep that up all year.
did I not tell you?
Hey, who won that game though?
But did I not tell him? Crazy that game.
We got
Vitor was over here like, bro,
Ride the
pick against-
Orioles.
you got to pick against the Tigers.
Ride the
bro."
Orioles.
And I was like, dude, Eduardo Rodriguez,
Hey,
he's
and
been nasty.
he
He
was-
went like 7 innings, 8 Ks, 9 Ks.
They brought him out, and the Orioles did enough though.
But I wasn't talking about the Tigers. I was talking about Eduardo Rodriguez.
Yeah, no, he's incredible, and it's like it's like you think him, you think at some point he's just gonna have a terrible start. Nope, his bad starts are most teams' quality starts.
Yeah,
So
he's been very impressive.
yeah, he's at like a 1.57 ERA, I think, something
And
around
has
there.
pretty decent strikeout numbers as well. Really low whip.
I'm surprised at you, Vitor.
What?
I
That's a
thought
good
you were going to say somebody else.
No, I mean I was really between Garrett Cole and McClanahan,
Who else you got?
but
No, I think he was going to say a Giant, but because he's such a
Oh.
Giant.
I
think he's
our
better than
pitching has
Their
been
pitching
well.
is good.
Cobb's been really good this year. So
That's what I thought you was going to say. I thought you
He's
were going to
up
say
right
Cobb.
now.
yeah, he's
He's on the bump right
he's
now.
currently winning,
He's going against Kershaw today.
going against Wheeler today.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, we're playing
That's
Phillies,
right. I'm sorry.
which is
I'm
still both pitchers have been hot. So
Kershaw's pitching against.
they are playing the. Literally just looked at this game. The Twins actually. The Twins are up
Twins.
1-0.
Yes, the Twins today. Yes, they barely won. They walked it off on a walk yesterday.
Yeah.
Hence my Twins bullpen comment. But that's it, Danielson. Take us out.
Stay cracking, man. But yeah, 50 episodes, basically hit our 1 year mark. So again, thank you guys, everybody who tunes in every single week and checks out our social media, our YouTube channel and all that as well. Deeply, deeply appreciated. The next 50 are going to be, even better, even more content for everybody as well. A little bit of different things instead of just the podcast episode. We're going to be including some things, green screen, going to be seeing more of the individuals hosts doing the videos instead of, just all of us together and stuff like that. But gonna wrap it up here. Thank you all again for tuning in. Have a great rest of the week. May take a break, just a little milestone break, probably 1 week or so. May do that. But
Oh yeah, because you said you're
Surprise
gonna
you
be
Yeah.
out, right?
yeah, may surprise you guys. Y'all may do it without me and all that, but we'll at least have the content rolling out for you guys for the next couple of weeks, so that way we can get to episode number 51. But thank you all again for tuning in. Have a great rest of the week, and we'll see y'all soon.
Later.
Okay. Bye bye. That's all I got.